Christmas.
Merry
man.
Christmas.
What's going
Yeah.
on? Hey, what's up? Merry Christmas, man.
Okay.
Y'all
Christmas.
come on in.
Yeah.
All right,
What's
all right,
going on,
man.
man?
Welcome to the recital, man. Merry Christmas. It's
What's
another
up?
year, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, everybody got their music?
Hey, yeah.
All right, pass it out, pass it around. All right. All right, y'all ready? Yeah, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lick my balls with lots of saliva. Ba la 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 la. 'Tis the season to suck a drunk driver. Ba la 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 la. Out of style with gangster apparel. Ba la 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 la. Stroll through the hood with the loaded double barrel. Ba la 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 la. Blazing blunts in a beat up Taurus. Ba la 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 la. Baby gangsters selling dope for us. La 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 la. Digital scale to weigh and measure. La 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 la. Getting over on the system brings me pleasure. La 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 la. High as hell with dark sunglasses. La 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 la. Flunking all my stupid ass classes. La 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 la. Me and my homies kick it together. La 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 la. Drunk and high in real cold weather. La 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 la.
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing
Welcome
simple
in,
things,
early heads.
finding out
Welcome
that
in,
we're
early
meant
heads.
to be in
So
nature
you have
and be
survived
natural.
the week,
And this is where we
and it
find
is
the
me,
source that God
Hugo,
made
back
to transcend the new world
with
order.
another one.
And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
Starting out with some shitpost songs.
I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video.
Video, he has them.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Way back to my beautiful, beautiful city of residence. I plugged in and we're about to get another one through the door. I hope you're all doing fine. If anybody in chat has died in the previous 2 days since the last stream, please tell us, because as we all know, whether there is a heaven or a hell, both for sure have access to Twitch. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. We have a lot of interesting topics to cover tonight. We got new files released. We got an interesting culture conversation. We have Silicon Valley losing its minds because people are finally asking them one very simple question. Yo, you're valued at $1 trillion. What the fuck is up with that? That makes no sense. Why are you valued at $1 trillion? What the fuck? Before we start out, that's pretty much my update. I watched a little bit of that new D&D show. It's very good. It is on Prime, okay? Reminder for all Primers to use their free sub and subscribe. But I think it is on Prime, and it is very, very, very good. What was it? It's a spin-off on Vox Machina. It's called The Mighty Nine, and it is rather raunchy and nice, okay? The Mighty Nine, this thing, okay? I have really been enjoying it. And you don't have to be like a D&D person or really into these incredible like fantasy worlds. And you will love it. Like, all the characters are great. The way the story develops is great. It is exceptionally mature. Like, it is insanely mature. The ethics of the whole thing are incredibly gray. All the characters are complex. Nobody's just a good guy or just a bad guy. They have their tropes, but they're pretty fun tropes. Big recommend, okay? Needs to be valued at 2,550 for Gamba. We dropped that thing. Okay, 2,550. There we go. Gamba numbers. Very good. I hear it's very good. It is. What's up? I actually told myself to put down theory books and read fantasy for the holidays. Actually enjoy the holidays, shouldn't you? You know, you should. I died again and got redacted by the DOJ. That's funny. Didn't you that in Serbia people celebrate their name day? So it's not necessarily a name day. It is all Orthodox people are really into name days, but specifically Serbs have this thing, and my grandpa is Serbian. They have this very particular thing where the whole family has a saint, and then the whole family celebrates him. And then when a person passes, his oldest next of kin inherits that slava, which basically means celebration. And then you celebrate it. It doesn't change from person to person. It doesn't change from generation to generation. It is not linked to your name. It is just like the family saint. And 2 days are usually when it's done, their birthday and their death day, right? And a lot of other people come to your home, you celebrate it, blah, blah, blah. They say during like some of the bigger Slavas, like St. Nicholas, which was yesterday, half of the country is either going to a Slava or half of the country is coming to a Slava. It's a whole thing, right? I live in Macedonia and people name day, but also every household can have a Slava. Yes, absolutely. But Macedonians do as well. You can do both. Some people do both. It's pretty interesting. Pirate Software banned me because you know the truth. Of course you do. But have you worked at Blizzard? Have you worked at Blizzard, sir? Have you worked at Blizzard? You cannot criticize that man unless you have also worked at Blizzard. It is, you must be on his level. Person that gets us over the line for Gamba gets to Gamba that amount. So, Gifty 150, please. Why does Cuphead hate me and also love me at the same time? Like, that would be great, but that would also be horrendous. Before we start the typical grift shit, let's get to the beautiful number of 3,000 by the end of the year, because at the end of the year, we will have made exactly 2 years of streaming. And if we have 3,000 subscribers, a niche political stream after only 2 years where I don't stream all the time, and only in the last 6 months I haven't been very professional about this, it would be an immense success. I don't have any other pitch to give you or whatever. It would just feel really nice, show how much we've grown as a community, and make me feel proud of myself and everything that we've done. That's basically the pitch. The other pitches is always ! Tax and Gamba. I would love to Gamba today. I would love to see you see me lose some motherfucking money. Okay? We have not reached Gamba at any point during this week. We did it last Sunday. Let's try and do it at least once this fine week and experience the public financial pay pig humiliation ritual that I truly enjoy. Will we watch the World Cup together? We can. We can. Dobro jutro, tebi, druže moj. Anyways, let's start out with the files and then take it from there. As always, lift off tweet. You know what to do. I delete these afterwards, so it's not gonna fuck with your algorithm. Retweet and like that shit. This one is pretty funny. Marx is talking about capitalism, like a lot of contradictions in this shit. It is like humor. It is like hilarious. I honestly, it's very funny. Especially this guy, like, oh God, it's so good. I am very guilty of this. I think I say the word contradiction at least 150 times in a single stream, but I can't help it. A lot of contradictions in this shit. A lot of motherfucking contradictions in this shit. Now, let's start out. Uno momento. Where you be, brother? Where you is? Stream list, very good. Playlist, okay. Let's start out with the files, get our updates. The latest shit has come through the door, and afterwards we're gonna have some fun. We got anti-woke Christmas movies. We got AI-generated Yanis Varoufakis. We have a great conversation about the great culture shift in the last 5 years. Maybe some Joe Rogan stuff, maybe even some theory to speak, but maybe I'll leave that tomorrow. On topic of dialectical materialism and so on. A lot of contradictions in this motherfucker. Let's start out with the files, lube ourselves up real good, and then we'll slide through the rest.
Released. Now, I had a little hesitancy on that word because it's only part. The DOJ releasing a mass dump of heavily redacted documents tonight, and I want to just emphasize that point.
Personal Kizzo, that is 30 consecutive streams. You're an insane motherfucker. Very well. Then I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. You contain 30 multitudes. Every time you watch or you go up an extreme, you become a new person because you walk out of it changed.
By heavily redacted, I mean a lot of pages that look like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that's all I was going to do to the printer to make the point. Okay, there's a lot more of them. We have teams across.
I mean, back in the day, a lot of people did post like a black square as their Instagram profile photo. So maybe that's just that, like Instagram profile photos of liberals during that whole era.
CNN.
There are more black squares in these files than profile pics during BLM. There you go. Great minds think alike, as they say, or in this case, an unhinged mind and a great mind.
I'm going through what was released right now in terms of pages that are not quite as black as these. But the DOJ is admitting in a letter to Congress that the files are not complete, separate from the redactions themselves. And that lack of completion is a big problem because the deadline by law, thanks to Congress forcing Trump's hand on the Epstein files, is today. Now, the key Republican who is behind getting that law passed is Congressman Thomas Massie, and he's posting on social media tonight, quote, unfortunately, today's document released by AG Pam Bondi and Deputy AG Todd Blanche grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law that Donald Trump signed just 30 days ago. And Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene said, quote, release all the files. It's literally the law. Well, they did not, and they have not yet. The White House saying tonight that it did not receive the Epstein documents that were released by the Department of Justice before they were released. So they're saying that they weren't involved with what the DOJ chose to put out today. But the Justice Department...
Like, the whole situation is a massive lose-lose to them because whatever they don't release, everybody will assume has Trump in it, and whatever they do release is going to have Trump in it, so it's going to be a big L. Like, there's no getting out of this. Maybe if they did not want this situation, then don't elect political figures in power which are associated to the world's most famous pedophile. Just small things like this.
Did brief the White House on what the documents contain. So what do we actually have tonight on the pages that aren't black as the country starts to shut down and check out for the end of year holiday time? We do have some apparently never before released documents, along with thousands of files that were already public, the redactions, of course, and a whole bunch of pictures of Bill Clinton. Now, among the never before released documents is this photo of Bill Clinton. He's with Epstein. Got a print out of that one as well. And then a photo of a shirtless Clinton in a jacuzzi next to another person whose face is redacted, and a photo of Clinton swimming in a pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and another woman whose
this fucking thing was fucking incredible.
face is
Thank you very much, Dysfunction, for the gifty. Thank you very much.
redacted. Now, it's important to note Clinton has not been accused by law enforcement of any wrongdoing related to Epstein, and a Clinton spokesperson's posting on social media tonight. The White House hasn't been hiding these files for months, only to dump them late on a Friday to protect Bill Clinton. This is about shielding themselves from what comes next or from what they'll try and hide forever. Now, as for Trump himself, he didn't want to talk about the files today. He refused to take questions about anything today when he appeared in public to announce a drug pricing order.
I won't even take questions today because there's no way I can take questions that are anywhere comparable to what you just witnessed.
How are you? Oh my God, that's so funny. How are you a chud looking at this, not losing your mind? Half of your ideology is based on the idea that there is an evil conspiracy type cabal that likes to touch children, that is behind every hole of power in the country, and then you recognize that your boy is directly connected to an evil billionaire pedophile cabal, and he doesn't even want to talk about it, and yet you still cope your way into. We are, as Bryce said during that deprogram interview we did, we are 100% post-truth, baby, 100%. You can just say words, dude.
To be clear,
I know this is not like a hard-hitting analysis coming from me, but it's genuinely true. Like, for the reactionary chud, everything is acceptable. We will do whatever you tell us to do, no matter how contradictory you are. Oh my God, I already said contradictory. Because who we are as human beings is, John last, MAGA supporter first.
what he's talking about, what we just witnessed, was an announcement from Trump about drug prices. MJ Lee has been going through the files such that we have them. And MJ,
Thank you, Akkad. I saved the link. Thank you, brother.
look, we got these photos, we got lots of redactions, lots of things missing, but there are still, many, many pages.
I would pay an incredible amount of money to just see Trump naked, like 2017, 2016, Trump in a pool. But I don't think he ever allowed himself to do something like this.
Of documents that you are able to look through. What are you learning from them?
Imagine Trump in spandex. Dude, that would murder. That would kill.
Yeah, Aaron, as we are going through these thousands and thousands of pages of documents.
Marx's analysis of why pedocabals exist, because an insane concentration of wealth in fewer and fewer hands fuels a supraclass of hyper-degenerates that have elevated themselves to borderline godhood because of how much money they have. And as they pursue greater and greater experiences of quote-unquote pleasure, utilizing all this capital that they've stolen from workers, they eventually have to come to the biggest taboo on planet Earth, arguably, which is to touch a child inappropriately. That is why they exist, and that is why there is such a high concentration of them amongst the billionaire class. That's not class, but you get my point. Because they literally have experienced everything else, okay? It is the greatest sin. It is the biggest taboo. Therefore, it is the biggest turn on for people that have experienced absolutely everything else. Not everybody's a fucking
Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger!
Not everybody's a billionaire, obviously. And our tastes, because of that, cannot degenerate to such a level where we want to participate in super sick behavior like this. King Cold Prince, baby. What is up, Prince? Haven't seen you in a second. Thank you for your taxes, my friend. Thank you very much. How are you doing? Thank you for our first taxpayer getting us closer to Gamba. King Cold Prince, have you ever Gamba'd in here? I can't remember, honestly. Thank you very much. King Cold Prince is becoming the number one oiler in chat, defeating maybe even Barry, but we will see.
Documents and photos to try to.
Yeah, that's your TLDR. You obviously have pedophiles that are born pedophiles that are just like broken, with all due respect, but you also have people that get to that step due to just like desensitization, due to having experienced absolutely everything else. And obviously their class plays a lot in the fact that they end up doing it, because most people, no matter how desensitized they are, certain taboos are not touched because certain taboos are not touched, period. But once you've elevated yourself to the billionaire level, you genuinely start believing that the rules that apply to us plebeians no longer apply to you, including some moral codes that are, just for regular Joes. I am now above all of this, therefore I can indulge in it. And they'll probably also give yourself plenty of other lies, like, oh, I'm helping these teenagers out or whatever by giving them $20,000 to ruin them forever. How many ski masks do you have? At this point, like 10, bro. I have so many. I am Batman. I am ski mask Batman. Batman! Bootaman! I got a boot. Boot.
Figure out what's new, what's significant. Are there people of interest that we should be taking note of? You're right that this is just a partial release of the so-called Epstein files from the DOJ. And what's interesting is that Todd Blanche has essentially informed Congress as of this afternoon that this is happening in this way because of the sheer volume of the documents that we are talking about. And what he essentially communicated is that we needed more time to figure out what information needed to be redacted, including on some information that the agency got recently. Now, one thing that is interesting is that he made clear in this communication to Congress that they made a decision to withhold and redact information that goes beyond what is stated in the law. And just as a reminder, what is stated in the law is that there are 5 categories of information that can be redacted. That includes identifying information about the victims. And just scrolling through these documents, you can tell, there are photos where there is a black box over a woman's face. That clearly.
I genuinely cannot believe that we do not have software that can immediately decensor a photo. Isn't that insane? We have holograms, my dude. And I know that certain types of censorship can quote unquote be decensored when it's a blur. But I guess, it would be impossible to develop technology. I don't know, designers in chat or techie people in chat, artists in chat. Yeah, I guess it's impossible when there's a JPEG on top of this photo. How do you remove the JPEG that's been pasted on top? And in this case, the black boxes are basically JPEGs that are plastered on top. But then again, there's probably a way to code search the image and all of the edits that were ever done to it in order to determine what it looked like previously. I don't know. I'm genuinely not techie enough to understand this. Please help me. But I am kind of mind blown that in the big 2025 we can't decensor a photo. It's kind of wild. It's insane. We got fucking space lasers. Alex, thank you for the Prime and the 8 months. Be like Alex, he's your Prime. Thank you very much, Alex. There is, I'm pretty sure, it's redacted and then copied. Good point. No technology can defeat the power of black marker. Sure, they redacted and then scanned. Good point. So by that, you probably mean they first edited out whatever's in the photo, then they scanned it. Then they added the thing on. I don't know. If the data is truly destroyed, there is no way to recover it.
Wonderful. A new child soldier. Subscriber.
The Aldi censor shit is just making a guess. Yeah, probably flatten the image so the sensors are part of the image. Yep. Okay, there you go. Smart people in chat. And another incredible person in chat who now hit the 20. We got a white Western taxpayer at this point. Thank you, Kill Gold Prince. Somebody wants us to Gamba today. Thank you very much for your support.
Wonderful. A new
Oil everywhere. I asked you, Prince, tell us, have you Gamba'd before? Because I'm scared of Gambaing with you. I am genuinely scarred. I'm probably going to be scarred, if you know what I mean.
Falls under that category. But there are other examples as well, like child.
I think it depends on how they do it. I know PDFs, pun intended, have certain metadata trails, but it really depends on how they're created. Okay. Gamba for the way. Okay, Prince, I see what you're doing. Oh, no, that's Aiden. Sorry, it's Aiden. Aiden is obsessed. I've ruined all the Oilers. They are evil. But I know Prince is good. Prince doesn't wanna ruin me. He just does it for the oil's sake, right? I got in a little inconvenience IRL, but I'm good now. Been able to catch a stream in a while. You're fine. I hope you're good. Be careful with what you post, I guess. No, I have not gambled. That's good. That is excellent. Trust me. It is scary to potentially gamble with you. Pizza Famine, another Oiler. You see, completely gamble pilled. For those of you who do not know, we have basically circumvented Twitch rules, and I am ironically a communist channel, a proud liberal SOTSDEM channel. That where you can gamble on Twitch, the only one that has like bypassed TOS. How have we bypassed TOS? Because I lose. Like the only thing you guys can get is double your subs when we gamble by spinning the wheel. But if you lose, nothing happens to you. But if you win, then I have to spend my own money. Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger! And also, I'm most definitely not white. That's why I joked, my friend, because whenever there's a 20, I'm like, oh, there's white people have dropped in the chat. Thank you, Anon. Thank you, Xi Jinping, for the 5 gifties. Anyways, let's continue covering this. I'm sorry. So okay, we cannot decensor this shit because it's done properly. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you very much.
Sex abuse, anything
what happens if you go in debt? Then it's very funny because you're destroying a streamer, and all streamers fucking suck, and you should fucking hate them. And only here can you actually do that to a streamer. You can actually piss in my mouth. Barry with the 5 will not lose the crown ever. Thank you, Barry. Famous non-white third worlder Barry paying his third world tax. I'm fucking around with you. Please don't give more. You've done more than enough. But yeah.
Shows physical abuse, anything that could hurt an ongoing investigation, something that could
I'm fucking with you, Barry.
Hurt national security. But the fact that there are going to be more documents coming out on a rolling basis, and that's...
You know what to do with the hype train chat. You know what to do.
So many redactions, again, beyond what the law originally stated, is going to have huge political ramifications. And I also think we should talk about the ramifications that is going to have on the survivors, because one of the things that the survivors are very much looking for in a big picture way as they go through these files is a sense of a better understanding of why some of these internal decisions over the course of many years were made, including, what charges did the department decide to not bring on certain people? What were the decision-making processes that took place over the course of many years that they've never gotten the answer to? So this is going to be sort of a long-running process, and I can tell you with certainty that survivors are not going.
Okay, I apologize.
Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger!
I must pause the video because the hype train is going into fucking overdrive. Holy fucking shit. Glitch Greens got triggered and was like, no, there are good white Western taxpayers in chat, and came in here, whipped out that white privilege and fucking hit me right on the head with it. Thank you, Glitch, okay? White chatters, Oilers, lives matter, I guess, hashtag. Thank you very much for all that oil. Thank you very, very much. And thank you, of course, to Darkwing Cuck for that gifty as well. Incredible names in here. Incredible. White Oilers matter. Very based of you, Glitch. But also, Glitch is giving everybody subs, but Glitch himself does not have a sub. Give Glitch a sub. Like, what the fuck? He just gave you 20 child soldiers, and you guys aren't giving him anything back. I thought you guys were socialists. What the hell, you on? Abolish whiteness conceptually, except when it comes to... Okay, now they're measuring dicks. I know when this happens. Now they're measuring dicks. Now they're just competing. Now I know exactly what you're doing. Anna King Cole Prince is obviously showing that no comparisons can be made unless somebody wants to challenge a King Cole Prince and out taxa. Okay, I'm gonna King Cole Prince. I'm gonna count you as 2 taxes, and I am very scared about already reaching the Gamba moment because that shit would be kind of scary, low-key. Kind of very scary, honestly. My financial stability is looking back at me with evil intent. Gamba time at 2,550. God damn it. That's going to be fucking insane. King, what the fuck, dude? I want every single person in chat to thank King Cold Prince right now, okay? Because that is... I literally run on oil, dude. I am a Ram truck from the Balkans. This is... individual subscriptions, what is that? Who is she? I've never met the woman. But Oilers, I've met them, okay? One can say that I am the first socialist actually paid for by Big Capital, okay? Big Kappa in the house. Big Kappa, very good. Jokes aside, Prince, you crazy motherfucker, thank you. Are you invading Venezuela? Stop it, please. I need all the oil. It is never enough. Okay, let's cover the fucking news, okay? Even though the hype train is at level 10, which is very impressive already.
To be happy about what they are going to see as still the continued lack of transparency here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, MJ Lee. And everyone's here with me now. So, Barry Levine, obviously, you know, you've been covering this for years and you've pushed every night here for the files to be released. So the day comes, the deadline comes, and we get some stuff. We get some new stuff. We get a lot of stuff we already knew. Yeah. We get a lot of black pages. And when it comes to men, we get a lot of pictures of Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Aaron, apparently there's about 10% of the actual FBI files that were released today.
Imagine being Bill Clinton right now. Like, you're not even scared about the releases because nobody wants to see you. Like, you're so implicated with Epstein that, like, people have conspiracies that are 100% correct, by the way, that even the president sucked your dick. And even though, like, everybody now knows that you're probably a fucking sex pest freak, borderline pedophile, if not full-on pedophile, and yet nobody cares because everybody's like, oh, we want to see the Trump photos. You're irrelevant, sir. Like, isn't that insane? Like, you get caught holding the biggest bag in history, the second biggest bag in history, first one being, you know, you having, you know, what with your secretary. And now, like, nobody cares. Like, nobody gives a shit. Everybody, like, people are complaining. They're like, why are you giving us all of these photos of Bill Clinton? We do not care that he is a pedophile. Bill, you're free to go, borderline. Like, hey, Bill, you know, you do your thing, brother. We want Trump right now. He probably can't believe his luck. He's sitting there with Hillary. Who am I kidding? He's definitely not in the same room with Hillary ever. He's just sitting there and he's like, what the fuck? Like, why does nobody care? Nobody gives a fucking shit. Everyone knows about Clinton already since Monica. I guess that's the meme, but one would think that sexual indiscretion is not as bad as sexual indiscretion with children. But who am I to talk to you about American culture? I do not know this. America run by pedos. Everything is run by pedos. There is a direct line of events that every billionaire follows, which eventually lead to fucking kids, as I've said earlier, okay? Being a billionaire and not having sex with children is one of the most difficult things you can do on planet Earth. I don't think it's even possible. Because you've amassed all of this wealth, all of this power, you've experienced everything that man can experience except the ultimate taboo, touching the child. So you touch the child. Okay, no, that is fucked up.
Hamburger, hamburger, hamburger.
Why are you?
Hamburger, 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 cheeseburger, 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 Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Whopper, 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 hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Big Mac, hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, Big Mac, Whopper.
King Cold Prince saying thank you would not be enough. That is incredibly generous. But you can also now potentially stab me in the throat and scalp me in front of all of these people. Because, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, it is motherfucking Gamba time, okay? Gamba only within the first hour, it's double match? No, I cannot do that. What the fuck? Okay, first of all, thank you, King Cold Prince. Now I have a question for you. Do you want to gamble that money and potentially make me have to buy 50 gift subs? Or are you good? And I am terrified on what you're going to say. Okay? Quit your haram ways. No, my friend, this is fully ethical gamba. Trust me, this is fully ethical gamba. Because nobody loses except the streamer. Gamble it. What the fuck, dude? Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm shitting bricks already. Well, this wasn't supposed to happen this quickly. Odd number or even number, my friend. Odd number or even number. For those of you who do not know, the gifter from now on till the end of the stream who gifts, I'm going to slightly change it, who gifts 8 gift subs or more, can potentially gamble and double them. If they correctly guess even or odd, I have to buy the same number of gift subs to chat. Son of a fucking bitch. A king called Prince said odd. Let me play some terrifying, gambling music in the background because I'm going to lose my mind. Gambling music or something. What is this? No, not this shit. What the fuck? Wait, casino sounds. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen and NBs, it is gamble time, and our beautiful, beautiful Oiler King called Prince has said odd. So strap in and let's see if I go bankrupt today. Son of a fucking bitch. Congratulations to your king called Prince, who I now profoundly despise and hate, but still, congratulations. I'm kidding, I don't hate you. A little bit, okay? Maybe like 5%. I hate that you have this much luck. Oh my god, that's so much money. Okay, there you go. Congratulations, chat. Congratulations.
Wonderful, a new child soldier, subscriber.
Wait, isn't that like playing yourself? Wonderful, yes, I am the casino. You are all playing against me. That's the joke. That's the meme, bro. Okay? That is the premise. You get to punish a streamer, which is the worst type of person on planet Earth.
A new child soldier,
okay? I know, I am very generous. I absolutely fucking am. Not as generous as obviously the Oilers that make this happen. But still generous. My work here is done. Yes, a king called Prince, your work very much so here is done. God fucking damn it. In the future, please oil me up without making me gamble because you have too much luck.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
We don't have ads. Ads shouldn't play on the stream. What the fuck? Did you get an ad? What the fuck? We don't have ads, bruv. What the fuck? We don't have ads. Should this statistically even out, or does the house win? It kind of evens out. In full transparency, like these subs cost me a lot of money, but I get 70% back. It's still a lot of money, and I still have to wait for a month, and I still have to additionally pay taxes on that 70% that gets back, so it becomes more like 50%, but it's still, it's a lot. So basically, they cost me half of what they cost you guys.
Subscriber.
You get ads if you use ad block. That's hilarious. Anyways, hype train level 14. Gambling is on. If you gamble 8 or more gift subs, if you gift 8 or more gift subs and say Gamba, you can gamble, ladies and gentlemen and NBs. Now let's continue this today's stream under the continuous stress of gambling, okay? 8+ gift subs. Wait, let me write it. You guys watch this.
Percent of that, 5% of the 10, we already had, okay? So we're receiving, for the most part, very little. And, it's already been playing politics in the sense of putting out pictures of Bill Clinton. You have to wonder if the DOJ has assigned Jay Clayton at the SDNY to investigate Clinton and other Democratic enemies of President Trump. Why are they showing all of these photos of Bill Clinton? You would
Subscriber.
think that would be part of the investigation. So that doesn't make any sense. We did learn that there's 1,200 victims, more than we initially thought, from the DOJ.
I don't delete some VODs, like Twitch is fucking with me and it keeps like unpublishing them from time to time because of the music I play in the beginning. A good point. I always try to publish them afterwards, but sometimes I forget.
DOJ also said, and this is most
Jesus
important
Christ,
to me, and
50.
I think
Good on you, man. Good on you. Congratulations one more time. Crazy work, dude.
Survivors. DOJ communications on investigations into Epstein and his associates and details of any immunity deals. And so I'm looking for the FD 302 forms, which are the FBI witness reports that Representative Tom Massey says pertains to 20 men that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked these children to. And from the initial look that I made earlier, I don't see any of the 302 forms. However, we may see them in a later document dump.
I mean, Stacey, just to state the obvious here, it's just definitionally impossible that it's random what we got today, right? If you're putting out 10%, someone's making a decision on what that 10% is.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like Todd Blanche is the propped up announcer of it. But to Barry's point, it's so significant that President Trump directed Pam Bondi to investigate Bill Clinton, directly named him in a social media post along with other Democrats. And then she answered the call and appointed a U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York to investigate.
And others, yeah.
And the policy of the Justice Department is you don't release anything related to an ongoing investigation, especially photographs about the subject of an ongoing investigation. And obviously it seems
Thank you, Red Cheese, for the 1 year. Thank you very much. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you.
to be a disingenuous subject, being Bill Clinton being ordered to be investigated at this late stage of the game. It certainly did seem targeted at the time and still does. But why would they go against their own policies and then release Bill Clinton's photos? It's kind of makes a farce of this entire situation.
I mean, it really, right, if your whole point, if you were going to hide behind an ongoing investigation, the one that you've got going is into Bill Clinton. And yet we got a whole bunch
There's
of...
no winning. No matter what they do, they'll everybody will assume that it's Trump if it's censored up. That there's no winning. This is just complete chaos. The only thing they can do is ignore it. But obviously the Dems, if they are not absolute fucking troglodyte idiots, are going to milk the living shit out of this. And it is in our interest as, anti-fascists and socialists and anarchists and so on, to, in this case, edge on the Democrats as much as we physically can, no matter how much we might dislike them, as a tool in this fight against reaction, where they can, utilize all of their immense resources, all of their connections in, quote-unquote, big traditional media, to make it as loud as possible that Donald Trump sucks Bill Clinton cock and likes to touch little girls.
Pictures of him in a pool and a jacuzzi and whatnot.
Yeah, and I'll just add one more building block, which is that the legislation, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, actually has an exception. It says you do not have to release information if it could jeopardize an ongoing investigation. So it's not just that that's Justice Department policy. The law allows for them to actually have that.
The specific law, right, that Massey...
Yes,
law. Yes,
exactly. So it's the oddity that would be the piece that's released, and especially when the victims have named at least 20 men, and then we've only got one out of 20.
Right, and it happens to be that one. Okay, Max. So I mean, we all get that, and obviously, everybody. If there's anything more to know about Bill Clinton, then people should know it, right? Sure. But they should know about everyone else as well. The two men behind the bill, the law that Ryan's talking about, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey, have both said this is a load of baloney. And Massey saying, basically get out of town, right? His words are that grossly fails to comply with the spirit and the letter of the law. Then you had Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, has been a regular voice on this issue, but now other issues.
Sure. I'm going to say it again. The contradiction of continuously running campaigns in which you undermine the value of the law
a new child soldier.
Ends up eating you, because now nobody cares about the fact that it is a law that you have to release all the Epstein files.
That's Trump.
crazy how that happens, eh?
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
Crazy how that boy
Subscriber.
shouted wolf, and then nobody showed up.
Does this become like everybody jumps?
But I still I don't want to digress, but I keep going back
Wonderful, a new child
to
soldier,
Bill
I mean
Clinton. It
subscriber.
is an incredible moment in history that a man has been uncovered to have been so incredibly degenerate and corrupt, and yet nobody gives a flying fucking shit because they already either
Wonderful, a
knew
new child
that he's
soldier,
degenerate
I mean
and corrupt, or they
subscriber.
don't care because all eyes are on Trump right now. That is very funny. That is really funny. I would pay money to see, like, to sit in the same room with Bill Clinton right now.
Wonderful, a new child soldier. I mean subscriber.
on board to this or no?
There are now three things that
They should call the DOJ to arrest themselves. Yeah. Three holes of power. Separation of powers.
that are universally approved of in politics: motherhood, apple pie, and releasing all of the Epstein files, which is what makes this so.
My guy
Wonderful,
prepared
a
that
new
for
child
hours. He
soldier,
looked
I mean
himself in the mirror for
subscriber.
hours and prepared this beginning of the statement.
Incredibly jarring, alarming, and politically stupid that the Trump
It's crazy how IDF and Israelis are so
Wonderful,
close
a
to
new
this.
child
Watch the
soldier,
deprogram
subscriber.
episode done with a very good journalist from Mint Press News on this particular topic, dude. Epstein's partner in crime
Wonderful, a
is
new child
literally
soldier,
the daughter of one of
subscriber.
the most influential Zionists on planet Earth. Not just influential through philosophy, but through investment and through covert operations and so on and so on.
Wonderful, a new child soldier. I mean subscriber.
Is that video that make me ban of pirate software. Our friend here, thank you very much for the subscribe, because he really wants to show us this. So let's watch this. Let's watch
Wonderful,
this.
a
The
new
video that
child
banned him
soldier,
on
I mean
Pirates of
subscriber.
Tware. Okay. Why is it wrong to what the fuck? Is that
Wonderful, a
video
new
that
child
making what
soldier,
you
I
sent
mean
this to Pirate
subscriber.
Software and he banned you?
Grant that you're right, and he's on the list and all the things, and you're right about all the accusations you've been making. Why is it wrong that he did those things?
Are you asking me why it's wrong to rape children?
Yeah, I need you to tell me why it is wrong in your eyes
to rape
to
children.
do that.
What?
Yes. Do you need me to repeat it? Can you not hear me? Do you have too many talks in your ears, or what's up?
Oh my God. The arrogance and entitlement in his voice.
Why is it wrong? Is that too hard of a question?
Too hard of a question. When did raping children become a point of discussion for debate? Why should anybody need to explain to you why that is wrong?
That is like, I know that this is not fake, but like all of my spidey senses are immediately going off that this has to be fake. Like, you know, the call is coming from inside of the house so that you garner a shock value clip so that you can milk it and so on. But then I remember just how fucking insane a lot of reactionaries are. And I'm like, okay, you know, you go like take yourself away from your inherent subjectivity and understand that, yeah, some people can be this demonic.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
Pretty,
I mean
it's
subscriber.
it's fascinating. It's like, who has hurt you, my guy? Like, what were these magical material conditions we talk about all the time here that have molded you into someone that actually wants to discuss and quote unquote debate? Jesus, there's so many subs it's playing now.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, 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 Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Whopper, 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 hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper, Big Mac, Whopper.
Thank you for giving us the original and true anthem of the United States of America. A king called Prince Inugopnik because of the last gamba that I've lost. See, it was a 5. Son of a bitch.
These people live amongst us, these racists, rapists, evil people, and they're being
It's happening.
emboldened.
It's actually happening.
Why don't you actually answer the question?
It's actually happening.
They're being emboldened.
No, because I asked the question.
What the hell?
Why are you?
Oh, there are no words.
I didn't think this one would happen. You know, we see it often.
Yep.
They'll say that something's wrong, and then Trump will do it, and then they'll defend it.
Yes.
Did that with J6. Did that with the J6 pardons. Did that
These people are
with
evil.
the Medicaid cuts. Did that with the SNAP cuts.
Yep.
Just didn't think they'd do it with child rape.
Obfuscating. Let's just get to the fucking point, bro.
There is no
I
bottom too low
just
for these
didn't
people.
think they'd do it with child rape.
Wait, did he knock him out? I was touching too much grass. Did he actually knock him out? Oh shit. Sorry, Chad. I know most of you don't care about this, but it's...
Angie looks a little frustrated here. Look at him reeling. Right hand by Joshua. He's landing punches. What is this? I mean, they blame Joshua, but it's what? The referee, it's Jake Paul that's doing this.
Rough tactics gotta stop, okay? Fans didn't pay to see this crap, okay?
Amen.
You're gonna fight, but fight within the rules.
Paul's hands are down. Paul unwinds and catapult right hand to the left by Paul. Paul looking to make it a fight now.
Under the body with the right hand for Anthony Joshua. There's a big left now.
Text message.
Joshua is laughing and doesn't look like he's even breaking a sweat. This is sad. This looks like a sparring match to him. I mean, I guess it is. Joshua broke Jake's jaw, like actually. Holy mother of God.
Are lighting up. Everyone wondering what the hell is happening. And
Okay, don't suck the boy's dick, god damn.
Joshua continues to. Joshua, the predator. Counter right. There's the right hand. Jake Paul goes down again. Man, he's tired, you guys. Keep moving him like he was in the early rounds.
That hurt me.
Right uppercut. It's amazing that Paul is.
What the? You. I don't think it's working, bro. I don't think you can. This is one of the most lethal human beings on planet Earth that you're fighting right now. I don't think it works when you do it to him. It works when he does it to you, okay? The power dynamic in this case is him intimidating you because he's one of the most lethal people on planet Earth. You're just a challenger, right? I'm not even going to undermine Jake. Sometimes he won, sometimes, you know. But, like, it's not how this works, okay?
Still standing, taking the right uppercut. Best shot at the moment. Not that much is going to happen. And it almost, there's a left hook. There's the right hand. Down goes Paul. 6, 7, 8, 9. Mamma mia!
You know, I give Jake Paul. You know, I give Jake Paul credit for stepping in there in the first place, going 6 rounds. All those people that...
It is impressive that he is not dead, I guess. I guess that is impressive. Thank you, 8-bit. 8-bit in Sitiva. Thank you very much for the prime. Be like 8-bit. Subscribe. Or gift subs and Gamba. You know what to do, baby.
That says if this doesn't get past the first round, it's a loss for Anthony Joshua. He did what he was supposed to do, but we also give it a little...
Look at his face. Look at Joshua's face, sir. No, not that
first
face.
round, it's a loss for Anthony Joshua. He did what he was supposed to.
He's not even like chasing a breath. He's not. This is what your face looks like when you're sparring, not when you were, fight to the death. Okay, this is a sparring face. This is not a sparring face. This is not a sparring face. I've done kickboxing for 6 years. I'm not the greatest fighter on the planet, but I've sparred a few times. And more than a few. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't want to see my nose. My finger, I can't even fully look at my finger. I can't even fully. So I obviously don't know how to punch. I mean, so, that's where the information is coming from. And this does not look like a man that is like, borderline suffocating, catching a breath, like, this looks like a guy doing a training match.
To do, but we also give a little due credit now to Jake Paul.
Oh God, dude. Hugo's a deadly weapon. No, I'm a sweet boy. I'm a sweet boy. Okay.
Back for Anthony Joshua.
Joshua 2026, back to the real business. Tyson Fury in the World Heavyweight Championship. Thank you guys, and congratulations to the great Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul.
Hey, Gus.
I broke my hand because I thought it was a drywall. That's fucking funny. I intentionally do not punch dry walls because it's permanent damage. Like, you just punch normal walls.
Action there out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter.
Son of a bitch, dude. What's up, Maple? It's very nice to see you, my friend. What the fucking helly?
A little reaction there out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo! I know that's Ric Flair, and he came.
He's trying to, he has a very fast reaction time, as a lifelong content creator. So he knew all of this is going to get clipped. And it's impressive. It takes a high level of, I guess, intelligence and composure to, right as you're getting knocked out, to like make a face that can ironically, pun intended, save face, right? He's like, whoa, that was so impressive. This was so much fun. I wasn't terrified at all. This was actually very entertaining for me. But you can't save with this, okay? The slightly badass thing, you can't save this. You can't save this, okay, my friend? So you're not going to be able to clip the shit out of that. Trust me.
I know that's Ric Flair, and he came out not to.
Nah, that is a thumbnail face DNA mutation. Darwinism applied to content creators. They alter their physicality because of just how much they needed to milk content. Give this man a medal or a sub if he doesn't have one. Goddamn. Top tier joke. Thank you, Milla Square, for the subscription as well. Welcome to the community, my friend. Thank you very much.
Ric Flair, he came out to Hulk Hogan, but he's up on his feet. A little reaction there out of Jake Paul.
Yeah, quite the experience. Let's see what Joshua said. What did Joshua say? MMA community reacts. Let me see.
Mike Perry would react to the fight tweeting, Jake was brave or stupid to get in that ring with Joshua. Cody Garbrandt would tweet, Tank would have knocked him out faster. Aljamain Sterling says, this is a clown show. Nate Diaz would tweet,
I mean, with all due respect to your sport that, as I said, to an extent I also participated in, the whole sport is respectfully a clown show. You go fucking chest naked in a ring and you punch the living shit out of each other with another guy for rich people to watch and applaud. Like, you are an entertainer. Like, I'm sorry. Yes, sure, it's a test of resolve and skill. And we as humans that have perfected the art of violence should want to see who the most powerful human currently alive is through this test of wits, etc., etc. But the whole direction that we went in, especially with the MMA era and so on, it is entertainment first and sports second. I mean, my guy, this is like, come on. Thank you, decrepit and thin. I'm sure you are thin, but you are not decrepit. Thank you. So,
don't be scared. Diaz would follow up with, that boy don't work hard enough. Josh Emmett would tweet, I've never seen so many double legs in a boxing match. Arnold Billy Allen says, hate that I'm watching this. Brendan Schaub would react to the fight tweeting, this Joshua vs. Paul fight is weird. By weird, I mean Joshua isn't cutting off ring or throwing serious punches.
That was obvious. This is a correct take, in my modest opinion. That looked like sparring. I don't know how many times I should repeat it.
Not a single straight right hand. Get your money, boys. Schaub would follow up with, man, I'm a Jake fan, but that was strange. Anatomy of a Fighter would tweet, I don't give a what none of y'all say, respect to Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua calls out Tyson Fury after stopping Jake Paul in round 6. If Tyson Fury wants to put down his Twitter fingers, come and fight, let's run it next. The MMA Guru would tweet, I don't care, it's Jake Paul and he's fighting Anthony Joshua. So what, he shot for the clinch. He took real shots and landed good shots back too. The MMA Guru would follow up with, Anthony Joshua puts down Jake Paul bad with a KO blow and Paul barely misses the count. That was a real fight. And Anthony Joshua just got humiliated by Jake Paul. 6 rounds, real punches, real heat. Jake earned my respect big time. Before the fight, Conor McGregor would tweet this.
It had multiple rounds because they needed to make money. What the fuck?
I have not placed my...
And that is the main reason why, very obviously, Anthony Joshua wasn't going full murder mode in this thing, okay? Clowns did a little clown show and everybody applauded and we're like, wow. That doesn't undermine their athleticism, but this was obviously business first and athleticism second, and I guess that's okay.
My own personal bet on this match yet. I've only just set the odds. I do like KO in first.
What mix settings makes it sound so static? Like compression? Yes, and also he is a Midwestern American white man. Like, come on, you can't miss this shit.
60 seconds at 11-1 though. It's now about how much. What else? A colossal sum on an outright win is good too. 5 mil would return 5.6 mil. This is an absolute layup fight. It is not fixed also. I know Matchroom. Jake is stupid and will be altered permanently from this bout. I can't just sit by and watch it happen without making a cool profit from it too. So there you guys have it. Anthony Joshua catches Jake Paul with a nasty shot. Allegedly, Jake Paul actually broke his jaw. I do have to say much respect to Jake Paul for getting in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Jake looked very sloppy, but hey, he did manage to survive 6 rounds. So there you guys have it. Please be sure to leave.
It is. It pains me to say it, but to survive 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua, even if he was just sparring, is an incredible feat, okay? But I really hope it humbles him because I don't want to hear about Jake Paul anymore, for fuck's sakes. God damn it, dude.
The Epstein files have...
What I do want to hear more about is pedophiles in the White House. I repeat, pedophiles in the White House.
Just been released by the Justice Department. We are sifting through them now, and we're going to bring you what we find as we and our teams find it throughout this hour. Let's get off the sidelines and head into the arena. My panel is here, and we're joined by CNN Crime and Justice correspondent Caitlin Polantz and CNN senior White House correspondent Kristen Holmes. Caitlin, first to you. I know that our teams are digging through these files. Is there anything you can tell us so far about what we've learned?
It's called the Epstein Library that's being released by the Justice Department. And Casey, it does. Psychologist. Also joining us is Lauren Hirsch, the national director for World. With
licensed psychologists. I don't need, okay, I don't know what the lady's going to talk about, but we do not need psychologists when it comes to analyzing why these super rich people are pedophiles, okay? Unironically, everything goes back to capitalism. Yes, I know we're like a fucking broken record, but it absolutely does. Insane crimes of quote-unquote passion, of this level, of quote-unquote degeneracy, and this is an apt time when that term has no reactionary connotations in it, okay? These sorts of things happen at the top because these people are absurdly bored, and their sense of self is so inflated that they believe no rules and regulations that apply to plebeians like yourself or like myself should apply to them. And they will poke the hornet's nest time and time again because they cannot help themselves. Because it's the one thing that is out of reach. And the massive irony of this entire situation and just how popular the conversation around billionaires being pedophiles becomes is not going to stop them from doing pedophile stuff. That is very unfortunate and very ironic. Why? Because now it's a taboo again. Now they know for real, okay? Psychology hours with Hugo here, okay? Dialectical psychology hours. Now they know they can get caught no matter how powerful they are, no matter who they're connected to, etc., which is going to make it even spicier, even quote-unquote sexier to them. The only way to not have billionaire pedophiles is to not have billionaires, okay? Not all pedophiles are billionaires, but all billionaires are pedophiles. Put that on my tombstone. It is an inevitability. You have not, you can do whatever you want except that one thing. Of course, you're going to go do that one thing, especially if you have the moral consistency of somebody who became a billionaire, which objectively one can state is impossible if you have a human soul or any sort of notion of liberal or any other type of ethics. You're ethicless. I mean, no, your ethics is subjectively redefined by yourself, now a godlike entity who no longer subscribes to the ethics of the lowly masses, and therefore you can do whatever you want, including touching their children. So yes, not all pedophiles are billionaires, but all billionaires are pedophiles.
Without exploitation. Annie, it's a heavy day.
It's an inevitability.
A momentous day, but a heavy day, a heavy week. How are you feeling?
There was a lot of anxiety coming into today for many of us survivors and that have been involved in this process. But I have to say, it has been an emotional day in a way that I was not expecting. My sister, Maria Farmer, reported Epstein and his crimes in 1996. We've been saying that over.
This licensed psychologist isn't on because she's a psychologist, but because she was one of his victims. Okay. Thank you for the context. I haven't watched the video previously, and he just said, "Oh, we have one of the victims and a psychologist," and I was like, "What?" Okay.
Over and over again, and part of what was released today was an official FBI form, and I think it was an FT-71 dated September 3rd, 1996, with some of my sister's report. It was labeled under child pornography, and it described Epstein stealing photos of myself at the age of 16, of my younger sister, who was 12 at the time. And just to see it in writing and to know that they had this document this entire time, and how many people were harmed after that date. It just, we've been saying it over and over, but to see it in black and white that way has been very emotional. I'm with Maria today. I know she felt a tremendous amount of relief and redemption, but also sorrow in thinking about, people like Virginia Roberts Giuffre who are not here to see this and be a part of really forcing the government to be transparent finally about this case.
So Annie, I mean, just so people know, this is the document that you're talking about. It is the 1996 complaint that your sister made to the FBI about Epstein. She alleged that he stole nude and partially nude photographs of her underage sisters, constituting child pornography. And as we know, law enforcement failed to act on that complaint in 1996. She's followed up on this. She sued in response. You've sued over what you experienced. Maria, in a statement, has said, "This is amazing. Thank you for believing me. I feel redeemed. This is one of the best days of
the worst part of Nietzsche and Socrates with a bit of Freud. Welcome to YouGovMic Twitch.
My life." Of course, it's mixed with the fact that I'm devastated about all the other little girls like Virginia who were harmed because the FBI didn't do their job. I'm crying for two reasons. I want everyone to know that I'm shedding tears of joy for myself, but also tears of sorrow for all the other victims that the FBI, looking at this document, and I can feel, I'm sure, just a fraction of the emotion you feel, because you think of, if only they took this seriously, how many innocent girls would not have been harmed if only they took this seriously. But it is vindication. It is something, right, Annie?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. I mean, and I still have big questions about whether...
And I love how all the misogynists always scream at the top of their lungs about the problematic nature of somebody accusing somebody else of sexual violence and how much, quote-unquote, proof there needs to be before we all point our fingers towards someone, and that we know we should be patient and not fuck up and not all allegations are true. And this whole conversation is always in their mouth. But the conversation about thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of young women reporting sexual abuse, and women in general, of course, and then nothing being done about this, okay, the actual mainstream run of events that come when young women and women in general report abuse, that's what they don't want to talk about. That one's not spicy enough. That one's not interesting enough. That one might prove that, I don't know, 99% of women do not want to be labeled a sexual abuse victim because that's going to give them, I don't know, a leg up against somebody, or it's going to, get them the revenge that they seek. Does that mean that there's no horrible human beings that throw accusations at perfectly innocent people? Of course not. Of course they exist. But making the entire conversation revolve around this minuscule segment, minuscule portion of all of these cases is to shift the overtone window and somehow, again, make it about women bad in a moment when women are coming out with being abused. That is why I get, I don't know, let's use the word triggered. Fuck it. Yeah, it does trigger me and makes me fucking angry when I'm talking to someone or listening to someone or just enjoying, quote unquote, enjoying the wider discourse about this that keeps going back to the conversation about, legitimacy of accusation. And sure, there's probably like a lot of people that do it with good, righteous intention. Of course, that's a conversation that should be had. But making that the focus of all of these conversations, like, do you have eyes, bro? Like, are you fucking stupid? And there you go. This is an example of a young woman, a child, that reported what is happening and was ignored. New Orleans Catholic Church paid $230 million last week to settle all claims of hundreds of victims, and there is no news coverage. There you go. A man is more likely to be SA'd than be falsely accused of it. Beautifully put. Beautifully put. The excuse for the redactions was the information blacked out as part of an ongoing investigation. Yeah, and that ongoing investigation is going to be eternal. Thank you for being angry on behalf of victims and survivors like this. It's the least I can do. And no, don't thank me for anything. This is not something that one should be thanked for. This is like me standing and being like, you should not walk around the street and stab other people. It's like me saying you should not shit out your shit and then go on your knees and eat it. Like, do you thank everybody that does not eat shit in front of you? No, you don't, because that's normal human behavior that one should not be applauded for, but just being like, okay, thank you for being normal. It is the same when it comes to believe women. That should not be applauded. That should be normal, okay? Believe victims. It should be, it's not something that's, oh, wow, you're fucking, ooh. No, you're just, you're a normal person. I think the Me Too movement is really interesting with all this because it was just about a few very rich white men that lost a little bit of money and power for a brief moment. But so many normie men shit their pants and expected, and in some cases still do, to lose their job, family, and friends if they just said hello to a random woman at a bar. Yeah, it's the classic of make it all about yourself, dude. It's welcome to the world of dudes. Trust me, I've been in it for a second now, and it's an interesting place. The same guys that will talk about how this generation is incredibly washed because it is filled with victims that enjoy being victims are always the biggest potential victims. because they all the time talk about the potential scenario in which they could be victims. Falsely accused, lost job, They're making fun of real victims while deep down inside, again, Freudian hours with Hugo, hoping to one day become a victim. They are jealous. They are jealous in their privilege because they do not know what it is to actually be as traumatized and fucked up by being a victim of people that currently are, because they see the quote-unquote spotlight as a utility of itself, as a worthy prize on its own. It is so incredibly stupid. This, I beg. Yes, my friend, let's check it.
I unequivocally condemn all forms of violence.
Yeah, this.
You're sitting on a pile of bones. These bones were here when I got here. You're drinking what appears to be blood out of a human skull. As is my right to do. I found this skull. I'm just saying it doesn't really seem to go with your message. Maybe if you worked harder, you could drink blood out of a skull. I don't want to drink blood out of a skull. Terrorist! Seize him! I unequivocally...
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. Victim blaming is probably more widespread than false accusations based on hypervigilance. Yes, just statistically it has to be. It has to be. Some called it momentarily embarrassed pedophiles, like Americans are momentarily embarrassed billionaires. There's so many of these dudes, so many of them, and for women in chat especially. My friends, if you have a close male friend and his immediate reaction to another dude, be it a famous dude or a person directly in your community, being accused of something or being convicted of something, more importantly, if their first instinct is to, how do I put this? To undermine the scale. That's the key thing here, okay? To undermine the scale of the crime that was perpetuated against the victim. That is a red flag the size of the Soviet Union. Because what they're doing in their own mind, again, Freudian hours with Hugo, is minimizing a adjacent or similar crime that they themselves might have done as a defense mechanism against somebody else being caught. They see themselves more in the perpetrator than in the victim. And rarely does someone who has not done a criminal act as vile as what the person is being accused of, rarely does someone who has not done that immediately, instinctually relate to the perpetrator. So obviously this doesn't work 100% of the time, but, critical side eye. Always have that so that you're, fucking safe. It's a pretty big fucking red flag. Alternatively, it can just be classic patriarchal norms where men identify with men no matter if they're Hitler or anyone, because they're dudes and they have dehumanized you in their eyes so much that they only view you as tools and commodities that can be traded and interacted with during life. But it is only men who are real humans. You're simply DLC. The opinion of other men is all that matters, and the crimes done upon those who are not men are not real crimes, for they have been done upon somebody who is not fully human and ruining the life of a real human because they've damaged the toy. Is, come on, what are we doing? This is too much, etc., etc. So yeah, in all the cases when somebody's initial and immediate reaction is identifying with the potential perpetrator, or especially once convictions are done, actual perpetrators, fucking run. Run and do not look back. Run. Like, as a dude's dude, okay? You don't get more dude's dude than this fucking cunt right here. That should terrify you. Gotta hop out. I love you all, and please be kind to people, of course. This is actually so interesting. I have never thought about it like that, but it makes a lot of sense. Society dictates how to be a real man, so that is also when you expect yourself to relate to when someone are accused of stereotypical male traits, like always wanting to have sex everywhere. Yeah. The instinct towards defense either comes because of patriarchal definitions of women as not full humans, or you see the crime, you immediately go through your memory bank, you remember something of a similar scale that you did, so now you feel like you are being indirectly accused through that particular criminal being accused over on the TV screen or in your direct community, etc., etc. Yeah, let's continue. We have hit 1 hour and 30 minutes. Almost a reminder, subscribe to the show. Let's hit that 3,000 by the end of the month. That would be beautiful as a kind of crown on top of our 2 years. Or just entertain yourself and gamba, because for every 8+ gift subs you give, you can tell me I want to gamble, and you can potentially double them by us spinning this wheel. And if you guess correctly, even or odd, you get to force me to spend that money. Or if you don't want to gamba and just want to support the show, help out your fellow chatters that might be struggling and cannot get a sub themselves. And all the other good shit, 100% sponsor-free, 100% ad-free, 100% grassroots funded. Thank you very much. And all chatters that at any point want a gift sub, just, shout out to other chatters. Yo, can you drop me a gift sub? And there's always going to be there's always going to be a multi-billionaire in chat that is going to very willingly give you that sub. Thank you.
Did they not take it seriously, or were they protecting Epstein because of whatever relationship he had with the government, right? Like, there's just so many questions, and why we hope for, again, more transparency. But yes, this is really, really significant.
Yeah, and there is a lot to be said about how, socialists all the time scream about how incredibly similar the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are, how they're just two sides of the same neoliberal status quo defending coin, which might utilize different strategies, but both at the end of the day believe in the perseverance of the status quo, also known as the capitalist economic model that we live under. And that's a true analysis, and that is 100% correct. There's no discussion. If you do not believe that, you are unironically just politically illiterate, and a little bit more time needs to pass so that the contradictions become so inflated in front of you so that you finally understand that, okay? But the reason I'm mentioning all of that is, of course, because I get to jab another one in the buttocks of Dems as much as Republicans. But more importantly, because isn't this an incredible, it's not even a metaphor, an incredible vision board of the similarity of the two parties. What do I mean? Well, there are incredibly powerful Democratic Party figures, heavily, connected to the Epstein case, and incredibly powerful Republican figures as well. You see what I'm saying? They tell you they're fighting against each other, but their tips touch when they're on an island. Do those look like enemies to you? Do you think these people relate to you than they do to a Republican politician? Do you think these people relate more to you than their billionaire donors that fly them out to do degeneracy on steroids? Come on. You are not humans to them, brothers, sisters, and NBs. Never fucking forget that. And dehumanize them equally in return. Thank you, Pickle Rick. Oh my God, I can't believe I said it. Son of a bitch. That was worth your prime, wasn't it? Thank you, Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick with the prime. Thank you, Pickle Rick. You're beautiful. Thank you for hitting me in the head with that prime, bro.
To many of us.
It reminds me also of the young woman who went to the FBI and complained about Dr. Larry Nassar at Michigan State, who was molesting all those gymnasts and was also not taken seriously. Think of all the pain that could have been avoided. Annie, some of your fellow survivors have not been happy with the way that the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee have been releasing information and photographs, not necessarily with enough of a heads up for the survivors, sometimes with context, important context missing, etc. I imagine it's kind of triggering to not be given proper warning. What have you been hearing from other survivors about
My therapist asked me about my political ideology, and then after I said I'm a socialist, she started going off about the Holodomor. Tell her that there were therapists in almost every Nazi concentration camp. Okay, let's generalize. She's not a very smart person. I don't think she can give you insight about whatever mentally ails you, my friend. Motherfucker say he's a socialist, she's immediately like, but what about mass starvation, bro? Okay, therapist lady, what about cutting open twins to see if they work the same? Like, imagine doing that to a doctor, like any type of doctor. Like, do you know that there were doctors, there were Nazi doctors? Do you know that without doctors helping, the scale of the Holocaust could have never been the same? Like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? That is the behavior of a toddler, not someone you should trust with your secrets as a fucking therapist, with all due respect.
the way that these documents have been released by Democrats on House oversight?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say actually I'd like to speak more broadly because I think that similar to how things are released today. You know, just the government, I'd say, has not done a good job of communicating with victims.
You're a therapist? What about Unit 731? Yeah, there you go. Imagine if we behaved the way reactionaries behave. Like, let me grab some water.
I'd like to speak more broadly because I think that similar to how things are released today. You know, just the government, I'd say, has not done a good job of communicating with victims throughout this process. You know, we did not know what to expect from today. I don't think it would have been difficult from someone from the DOJ to reach out to prepare us a little bit more about how this was planned to be rolled out, but we had no information and we are literally just learning of things like everyone else. And that goes is also is true for you know, some of the things that have come from the House Oversight Committee, and there has been communication, and I think they have made some efforts to try and rectify those processes because yeah, it is triggering, and there's just a way in which it's hard to focus on anything right now with all of this going on. I think many of us are feeling, you know, really on edge and worn out. It's, you know, we have regular lives. People are trying to, you know, go to doctor's appointments, take care of their children, you know, do regular life holiday things. And it's just a serious weight to always, you know, not know what's coming next. So I think, you know, there are things like victims advocates for a reason. I know the government employs them. I don't understand why no one is using them right now.
I hope you feel the support of the American people behind you, Annie, because so many of us are just behind you all the way. Lauren, how do officials in Congress and the Justice Department strike the right balance when it comes to protecting the survivors and their identities while also releasing as much information about this case as possible to the public? Because some of the documents we're seeing released are just 100 pages of redaction. And obviously, I don't want the names of survivors released, but like 100 pages of redaction, that's a lot.
It sure is, Jake. I think that survivors have been really clear about what they want to see. I think they have said that they want...
Very in bad taste, pun intended, right, as this conversation was going. Okay, this is from my babushka. These are stuffed peppers and stuffed sarma. Why can't you see it? Oh, this is incredible shit. Look, guys. Oh, this is... Oh, my God. I mean, it doesn't look that sexy. But this is incredibly, oh my God, it's insanely good, with some feta cheese that I'm going to devour while My camera is off because obviously I cannot eat with the mask, okay? And if you want to buy me a beer to go with this food, subscribe. Subscribe-a-roo. Okay. I'm still here, don't worry.
All of the files.
It's without meat because now it's like fasting season or whatever.
Released, and they want redactions for victim identifying information. That's very different than document after document after document of full redactions. And they also want to see the names of people who have caused harm on both sides. They don't care if they're names of people who represent the left, the right, the center. They don't care. For them, this is not about politics. This is about pain, and this is about people. And so it's really time to expose those who have caused tremendous harm and begin holding them accountable.
Lauren Hirst, thank you for your presence and your advocacy. Andy Farmer, to you and your sisters, I mean, sending you all the love and support from me and my staff here at CNN, as we have. Thank you, and I hope you're able to have a Merry Christmas. The co-author of legislation requiring the Epstein files release, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California, says he's, quote, disappointed with what the Justice Department has made public today, which is not all of the files. His Republican counterpart, Congressman Thomas Massie, agrees, posting on X just moments ago, that the release, quote, grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law, unquote. Joining us now, Democrat from California and the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Congressman Robert Garcia. So, Congressman, you posted on X saying that you and your team are doing a major review of the documents, adding, quote, it's clear that this is not a full release. What stands out to you of what's been released or what has not?
Well, first, I think we should be very clear. This is absolutely breaking the law. I mean, they have not produced actually what they were required to do, which was all the files by today in a way that was searchable for the public, and that is not what's the case. What we have essentially is, one, we have a group of documents that have already been released to the public, and so there's could be even more than half of the documents we're reviewing right now have
100%
already been released. This includes court documents. It includes public video that's already been released to the public. It includes other civil case documents that are in there, the prison footage from Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony, and all of that information, including about 33,000 pages that were initially released to the Oversight Committee, are all in the public record. That already does not count for new information. Then we have what appears to be new, including some photos and other documents. Those are highly redacted. And we don't really have any explanation as to why they've been redacted or what is actually there in those documents. And so we have right now, what we're seeing is not transparency. This is not what the law passed. This does not meet the subpoena that the Oversight Committee has in place. What it is defying the Congress and, quite frankly, defying what the president signed into law in releasing all of these files. And so the review will continue. They're now saying they're going to try to get these documents over the next few weeks. In our initial estimation, and again, this is our estimation right now, it could be that we're only getting about 10% of what the DOJ likely has. And of that 10%, 5% of that has already been released, and the other 5% is highly redacted. So we're getting very little so far. We hope to get more in the days ahead. But this is Pam Bondi. Donald Trump should release all the files today and immediately.
There's a lot that's been redacted. The White House seems to be arguing that what's been redacted is just to protect the names of the survivors.
Look, I think we have to obviously see what the redactions actually are. At the end of the day, redacting names of survivors and victims absolutely should be the case, and I'm hopeful that they've done that in a way that's responsible. At the same time, we don't know what else is being redacted there. And so we've got to also talk to folks that we know have worked to put these documents together. We have to ensure they're not just redacting the names of those that could have been either co-conspirators or names of men who have abused women and girls. So that information is going to be critical in the days and the weeks ahead. But we also need to be clear at this moment.
Kansara, that's fucking funny.
I've been on the phone with Jamie Raskin and the Judiciary team most of the day. And we agree, we're going to likely have to take legal action if the Trump administration continues to stonewall, continues to not provide us full transcripts, and clearly they don't have a real interest in transparency. The searchable bar that they've included that's supposed to be searchable for the public is not even functioning correctly. And so this is not a real release. This is continuing a cover-up that's been going on now for months.
100% correct.
Some of the victims of the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are demanding the release of all the files relating to the case. Many say they feel let down by the partial release of thousands of heavily redacted files. The US Department of Justice, which released the trove, said the omissions were required to protect victims and for continuing investigations. Well, a number of famous faces have appeared in the latest tranche of images, including Michael Jackson, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Bill Clinton. Being named or pictured in the files is not an indication of any wrongdoing. Sean Dilley reports.
Once among the most confidential...
Meal 10 out of 10. I've just popped a week Zyn, 6 milligrams. Life is good. Abundant Apple comes in with a subscription. Life is fantastic. I enjoy the streams a lot, and even though I don't have that much on the economy side, I also know how important it is to support communities like this. It really helped me a lot, and even though I'm often tired when I come home, I always get in a great mood from watching along. Thank you so much for the streams. Oh, come on, Abundant Apples. Thank you for being here. Really glad to hear that. Thank you. Seriously.
Documents kept under...
I introduce to you a new theory. Instead of pedocon, it's pedocap. How familiar are you with West Germany's Kentler project? This project, to deal with their large amount of orphans, placed them with literal pedophiles. What the fuck? The pedophiles who came up with it believed they would provide the best care imaginable. What the fuck? No fucking way. That's insane. I'm not familiar with this at all. It looks like the DOJ is in my chat because everything is censored. Holy shit.
Lock and key by the US government. Some but far...
DOJ, get out of my chat. Out! DOJ, out!
From all of the Epstein files have landed. Among them, this picture appearing to show the former President Bill Clinton next to Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. And here, Mr. Clinton appears to be relaxing in a hot tub. We don't know who this person is. Another appears to show Mr. Clinton posing with Mick Jagger. A spokesperson for Mr. Clinton said the former president did nothing wrong and he cut Epstein off before his crimes came to light.
Didi Megadudu, thank you very much for the 9 months. Thank you very, very, very much.
This image appears to show the former Prince Andrew lying across 5 unidentified people. Michael Jackson and the former British ambassador to Washington, Peter Mandelson.
Holy mother of God. Michael, dude, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Jackson and the former British ambassador to Washington, Peter Mandelson, also appeared...
I'm not even talking about the fact that he's in a picture with Epstein. I'm talking about what he fucking looked like. Holy shit.
...to be included. Lord Mandelson has previously said he regrets his former relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump hasn't yet featured prominently, despite previous releases by Democrat opponents appearing to show him by Jeffrey Epstein's side. The president has always denied doing anything wrong, and there is no indication of wrongdoing by anyone named or pictured in the Epstein files.
The yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
This was the moment lawmakers voted for the Epstein Files Transparency Act. It gave the US Department of Justice until midnight last night to publish most of the files they held on Epstein. The law did allow the government to withhold or redact files relating to ongoing investigations and those showing abuse or identifying victims. But at the 11th hour, the DOJ said the number of documents meant the disclosure would be incomplete. That has led survivors to call for more transparency.
It's been so nerve-wracking. I think all of us are full of anxiety at this point, and you know that now that the files are released, we feel that it is a lot of files that don't have much information in them. So we're trying to figure out, you know, what is going on here, what kind of redactions were made.
The Department of Justice says it hasn't redacted the names of politicians or individuals who are not victims. They say they've identified 1,200 survivors.
Yeah, and I have a fucking bridge in San Francisco to sell you, okay? This has been milked. No puns intended. Let's continue with our coverage on something else. which is Silicon Valley pretty much going into hardcore defense.
Oil
mode.
prices have...
A video from More Perfect Union to help us understand this more perfectly.
Watch this clip of Sam Altman having a very strange reaction to an interviewer who's pretty friendly to big tech, and I'll explain in a second.
How can the company with $13 billion in revenues make $1.4 trillion of spend commitments? And you've heard the criticism,
First
Sam.
of all, we're doing well more revenue than that. Second of all,
shut the fuck up. This is funny.
Yeah, chill.
This is fucking hilarious. This is very funny. It's very funny. Can't believe he was caught barehanded. Sorry.
Pretty friendly to big tech, and I'll explain in a second.
I guess that's why he loved all that honey, eh? Let's just say he wasn't eating it, if you know what I mean.
How can the company with $13 billion in revenues make $1.4 trillion of spend commitments? And you've heard the criticism,
First
Sam.
of all, we're doing well more revenue than that. Second of all, Brad, if you want to sell your shares, I'll find you a buyer. I just, enough.
So why does Altman seem so upset here? After all, this interviewer is just pointing out a basic fact that
Thank you,
OpenAI...
Red Edge Planet, for giving birth to a child soldier. Thank you very much.
Why does Altman seem so
This is such a red flag, dude.
upset here? After all, this interviewer is just pointing out a basic fact that OpenAI has committed to spend over $1 trillion on AI infrastructure over the next 8 years, despite only bringing in around $13 billion a year in recurring revenue, less than 1% of what they're promising.
Why the fuck is he so rude? Because that's the one thing that they fear. Questioning the potential financial feasibility of their project's infinite growth. That's the only thing they fear, because it is growing, because nobody is questioning the fact that it's going to grow. The second enough potential investors question how much it can grow, they will either limit or pull out the amount of money they're pouring into this, which will then cause a snowball effect of other investors pulling out, which will then make the whole deck of cards fall. When you're basically doing an infinite money glitch pitch to your investors, anybody questioning that it's an infinite money glitch is kind of destroying the infinite money glitch. Okay? The economy is indeed completely invented. Okay, if enough people believe in a thing, it can genuinely make them money. So if belief is how you sell, not believing in it ends up losing money for everybody.
Spent. I'm no money genius, and I'm personally terrible at budgeting, but that doesn't seem great. Most of the supposed growth in the American economy in 2025 was caused by investment in AI. That's all part of a promise being made by the industry, led by Sam Altman, that once a certain level of machine learning intelligence is reached, all of our problems will be solved.
The housing crisis, cancer, poverty, climate change, mental health, democracy, universal basic income, cure a bunch of diseases, this cancer and that one, and heart disease.
Helping you try to accomplish your goals and be your best.
Very high quality healthcare. Important new scientific discoveries. The marginal cost of energy are going to trend rapidly towards zero. It's a more equal world.
Universal extreme wealth for everybody.
In exchange for all that, Altman is asking all of society to put all of our eggs, our data, our economy, our water and resources, everything, into one basket. His. He's offering us one massive, just trust me, bro. So, should we trust Altman? Should we accept his deal? Is it even our choice? Altman isn't a technologist or scientist. He's an investor and deal maker, and really good at it, supposedly. But his whole career is
It's also because they refuse to admit that this entire house of cards is propped up by industrial policy. Neoliberalism just changed who got the rewards from investment in science and industry. But the major investor has always been the government, which is you, chat. They're just keeping all the profits. Beautifully put. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I feel like I'm too vulgar sometimes in my stream. My partner told me we're too vulgar, so I'm gonna become a good little Christian boy now. But yes. I cannot say what I wanted to say. Let's just say you have intellectually engorged me, okay?
series of just trust me bro moments. So let's examine the deal Altman is offering all of us. Should we believe Sam Altman's promises? And what's the cost to the rest of us if those
Yeah, I heard of those allegations too.
promises turn out to be lies? So let's go back and look closer at Altman's early days in the tech industry. Altman's first big deal was selling his first company, Looped, a service for locating your friends. That's something that inherently needs lots of users to work, or else you're just locating yourself.
The operative idea seems to be ubiquity. I mean, get it out there in more ways than you can possibly imagine.
And make it available to everybody.
But the whole time, Looped refused to say how many users they had. Altman just insisted there were, quote, way more users than any other similar service. It turns out, though, that
How is that legal, dude?
towards the end, Looped only had 500 users. When Reuters reported this,
That is, oh my god, the guy is the ultimate con man. He might end up being the ultimate con man. Like, unironically, like the greatest one of all time. Because to engorge a entire quote-unquote new industry to such an extent that the world's largest economy is pretty much almost entirely wrapped up in its potential success or failure is the con of a millennia. Of a millennia. Thank you, Milla Square, for that gifty. Thank you very much, Milla Square.
Altman insisted it was 100 times more than that, and that he'd provide evidence. He never did. Just trust me, bro. Looped sold to the Green Dot Corporation, who shut it down immediately and never used any of the tech. Green Dot investors allege it was a dirty deal done to enrich Sequoia Capital, a VC firm with a stake in Looped, and 2 board members at Green Dot who helped approve the deal. Altman left Green Dot as soon as he was legally able, walking away with millions for building an app that no longer existed in any form. And luckily for Altman, someone saw something in him. Peter Thiel. Thiel, who once said that Altman should be treated as, quote, more of a messiah figure, gave Altman millions to start his own VC firm, Hydrazine Capital. And that's not all the capital Altman controlled. He was also hired as president of Y Combinator, or YC, an influential venture capital firm and startup incubator, where Looped got its original funding.
I think the president of YC is sort of the unofficial leader of the startup movement.
And Altman personally traded on that influence. The New Yorker reports that up to 75%.
Remember that era when Silicon Valley was going to cure every ill of society, even inside of the confines of capitalism, because bigger technology gonna solve everything because it's gonna manage. And then they just made apps that track how much you walk. Well, we still live in that world. It's just now an app with an aggregate telling you how much you should walk. And then all of your taxes go into the government, and then the government is like, oh, all of your money, I'm going to put it in this thing. Which makes absolutely everybody else also say, I'm going to put it in this thing. This thing's definitely going to happen. Let's all put it in this thing. And now it's all there. It is. Tell me how the market economy is efficient again. Remind me, how is it efficient again? But then again, chat, let's be open to potentially making a mistake with this. Maybe, AI as they define it is going to be the cure to all of the world's ills. You never know. Maybe we're missing this incredible pitch that everybody else seems to be hearing, and not hearing, just understanding that, just believing that they're not going to be left to foot the bill when it starts crumbling. Okay, most of the largest investors in all of this know that it's a fucking bubble. Most of them know that it's going to fucking burst. They just are betting, as most investment always is, on pulling out before it pops. The way it has always been. I'm on the biggest camera. Excuse me, sir, but can I interest you in a Videophone landline or perhaps mail order steak service? This AI shit has fully convinced me that investors are the dumbest soup of brain monkeys on the entire planet who will keep throwing cash at a burning pile just because somebody told them it resulted in an extra 0.05% growth year over year. Sure, there are investors like that, but the majority are what I mentioned earlier. Okay? The true smart investor that makes money understands that in late stage capitalism, you don't make it by investing in a potentially great feasible product. You understand that you make money off of promises, off of over promising. You make money by betting on who other people are going to bet on, and then pulling out on time when all the contradictions pile up so much that even the everyday Joe starts taking their money out. Okay? Who ends up footing the entire bill? Every single taxpayer, because the government has invested in this immensely, and the smaller, mom and pop shop type of investors. That's who gets to eat the dirt.
Percent of Hydrazine's capital was invested in YC companies. Altman used his inside view to get a cut of YC's power, despite Altman promising.
Yeah, greater fool theory is like the prevailing way the modern markets work, 100%.
Saying he didn't cross-invest in YC companies.
Which is fascinating for Marxists because it proves the main criticism that we've always had of the market, and that is not its lack of ethics involved. That is not the fact that it aggregates further and greater power and wealth in fewer hands. It is that it's inefficient. It is unironically inefficient in driving forward human growth potential through finance capital. That's the main thing. Sure, we all agree. Okay, it's unethical. Oh, it's it leads to greater contradictions. Blah blah blah. But we also understand that bro, like this shit don't work, bro. Like there can be better systems in place that can help us develop our species on this beautiful planet of ours at a much greater pace and in a much more sustainable manner. But no.
That's two big lies so far. The user base of Looped that needed users to exist, and his investments. In 2015, Altman leads YC into the investment you likely most know him for.
He's sort of a semi-company, semi-nonprofit doing AI safety research.
OpenAI was launched as the supposed nonprofit OpenAI Foundation, with a charter with a lot of lofty goals, a primary fiduciary duty to humanity, and avoiding enabling uses of AI or AGI that harm humanity or unduly concentrate power, while acting to minimize conflicts of interest among our employees and stakeholders.
And there were people in OpenAI that truly believe this, okay, that this is not exclusively a profit-driven company. And most of them left when OpenAI, openly, pun intended, became a exclusively profit-driven enterprise. Obviously, the argument to those who stayed was, oh, we're not becoming an exclusively profit-driven company. We are simply garnering greater resources that allow us to develop our dreams by being present, by becoming purchasable as a stock option on the open market. Come on, dude. Come on.
The evidence that they do that? Just trust me, bro. OpenAI's primary financial backers were tech billionaires and millionaires like Altman himself, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, and Elon Musk, and tech companies like Amazon Web Services and Infosys.
We wanted to build this with humanity's best interest at heart.
But in exchange, OpenAI is asking for a lot, putting all of society's eggs in one basket, if you will. They want electricity, water, infrastructure, capital, your data, your writing, your art, and for humanity to adjust felt in his bones the deal was wrong. It's a less noble version of what Reddit co-founder Aaron Swartz was targeted by law enforcement for. Swartz wanted to open the knowledge up to everyone. Altman wanted to put it in his product. In 2014, Altman promised that he and other investors would give 10% of Reddit's value back to the Reddit community. That never happened due to regulatory issues. But just like Reddit's data going to OpenAI, a look at the areas Altman's wealth is invested in show a deep connection to other needs of the organization. He's invested in AI networking equipment companies, thermal battery companies, and even companies mining the rare earth metals that server farms require. And once it's all built, Altman will profit off the problems AI creates. We're going to focus on 3: rising energy demands and costs, misuse like fraud and deepfakes, and job loss and economic collapse. Altman says again and again that OpenAI needs more power. The, quote, audacious long-term goal is to build 250 gigawatts of capacity by 2033. That much compute would require as much electricity as 1.5 billion people, the equivalent of the entire population of India. But Altman has a solution. Since they first met in the early 2000s, Peter Thiel and Sam Altman have had a shared interest: investing in nuclear power. Which isn't inherently bad, of course. Nuclear can be an extremely efficient and clean form of energy. But Thiel and Altman want to own it. Altman is invested in Helion and Oklo. Helion is working to build the first ever nuclear fusion power plant, a type of energy creation that many scientists say won't work. And Oklo is building microreactors, literally truck-sized nuclear reactors, which is a bit
literally Fallout before the bombs dropped, by the way. Privately owned mini nuclear reactors that everybody can buy and put in their car or fucking microwave. Literally Fallout. Yes, my nuclear car will rock.
Considering this investment strategy.
Part of our model is make the cost of mistakes really low and then make a lot of mistakes.
But for now, Oklo hasn't figured their reactors out yet, and are just using gas to keep up with the promises they made.
Nuclear startup Oklo and natural gas firm Liberty Energy today announcing a partnership to provide energy.
Dude, it's a fucking MLM. You connect already overinflated corporate projects with another corporate project, and now because it is attached to your project, it will obviously fucking explode. Because investors understand that other investors will also invest, and it's snowball on top of snowball on top of snowball on top of snowball. That's one way of looking at this. The other way is very scary, because the other one shows that the private sector, in this case the Silicon Valley private sector, is genuinely considering both privatizing and then purchasing as many potential resources that they can, with the idea that they will not have to ask anyone how many resources they can use for their future projects. You get what I mean? It's unironically like, okay, we're building something, we have immense amount of capital. What's stopping us from quote-unquote eternal growth? And the answer is, well, resources that are publicly owned by everybody. So you got to get a sign-off by government, by community, by regular everyday Joes to an extent. Okay, that's a fair point. How do we get rid of that? And the answer, ironically for these people, because they can do it, because they have God levels of capital, was just, what if we just privatize and buy out those resources? And we no longer have to ask anyone because of the sanctity of private property. And that's it. That's it.
Energy to large-scale customers.
Altman is also invested in multiple companies offering...
We have hit hour 2. Reminder to support the show. Reminder to pull that lever and gamba. 8 gift subs plus... If you donate them and you said, I want to gamble, and then you say odd or even, and I spin this little thing, and if it hits the correct type of number that you called for, I will take out my own credit card and spend my own money to to pay for the same amount of gift subs that you've given. That's number one. And number two, obviously, if you have Primes, they're free. Please do subscribe. Or if you don't and you want to subscribe individually and don't have the cash, which is completely understandable for 8 gifters, you know what to do. Let's try and hit this beautiful target by the end of the year because it will look really nice as a mantle on top of our 2-year streaming experience. Oh, yeah. Why am I singing? I don't know. Because thinking of 3,000 up there makes me excited. Excited.
Protection against AI bad actors. Identity verification to prevent
1K subs and you go streams on Kick, the real Gamba stream. 1K subs and I spend all those 1,000 on Kick gambling. Whoa, real socialist praxis. Can't wait for that shit to be fucking clipped. Zyprus, thank you for paying your developing world taxes, baby. Be like Zyprus. Pop in my proverbial DMs and show me your proverbial debit card number, okay?
deepfakes and even
Kick pays better. The only corporation I am a true patriot of Twitch will not be spoken badly of, okay? As a past YouTuber, I'm sorry, I know it's disgusting, fucking YouTubers, fucking subhumans. That has come to Twitch, I can tell you, the way Twitch treats you and the way YouTube treats you are like two galaxies, two different dimensions, two different universes. So yes, Jeff Bezos, you shall be spared when the knife of revolution comes to your town. Thank you, Natism, for the 12 months. Thank you very much. Natty Sim. You're a sim and you're natty. Yay.
Companies offering insurance for losses due to AI scams and hacking. That's like Batman not making any money off of crime fighting, but then selling Batmobile drove into my house insurance. While also running the Uber for Henchmen startup that the Riddler uses and selling the Joker white makeup.
Based allegory.
One other big promise
Marvel
Altman
ass
makes is
allegory.
that when the AI he sees as inevitable makes many jobs obsolete, it'll create so much wealth that it can be shared with everyone. Just like his smaller scale Reddit promise that turned out to be bullshit. And in 2024, he announced the product that'd supposedly offer that shared.
Well, but you can't do 8. Yeah, I just realized. Okay, 5 gift subs and you can gamba. Sorry, yeah. Because you can't do 8. That was a stupid idea. It's because I was scared in the beginning because people were overdoing it. Okay, 5 plus gifts and you can gamba. Apologies. So the previous chatter by the name of Zyprus, if you want to gamba, just tell me odd or even, or tell me I don't want to gamba, which is perfectly fine, and I actually love you even more for that because I will not potentially lose a lot of money. Okay.
Abundance.
WorldCoin.
WorldCoin.
WorldCoin is
WorldCoin, guys. Let's invest in WorldCoin. Trust me, bro, your money's good in WorldCoin. Guys, have you heard about WorldCoin? I would really want to invest in WorldCoin. Come on, guys, let's all invest in WorldCoin. Trust me, it's going to make us all very wealthy. Yes.
a technology company and cryptocurrency funded by all the usual suspects.
Imagine if I talk like that, would you be able to listen to me on stream? That's actually my real voice. This is me manipulating. Actually, I sound like this, guys. Yeah, guys, I love
techno-fascism. WorldCoin's backers say it can be a way to give out some form of universal basic income when AI starts replacing jobs.
I think this idea that we have a global currency that is outside of the control of any government is a super logical and important step on the tech tree.
But it also sells itself as a solution to identity verification problems created by AI. They want to use these orbs as a method of trusted identity check. And you don't get your universal basic income until you scan your eyes into the orb. And like many of Altman's other projects, from Looped to ChatGPT, it requires universal adoption to be of any business use. A currency and identification system are pretty useless if other people don't use them. So again, Altman is making an offer. Give us your identity, and we'll give you cryptocurrency. It's a classic Altman deal. I'll fix everything if you sign over everything. Just trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro, the economy, dude. The late stage capitalist era should be called Trust Me, Bro, the economy. But sir, you have not proven anything that you said, but trust me, bro. Okay, here's all my money. Thank you, sir.
It's almost like Altman wants to build a whole other economy.
Some smart guy at some point said, "Oh, if you repeat something enough times, it will become truth." Well, welcome to the 21st century reality. I will personally shove that orb up his ass. Palmer, I think there's some celebrations coming. Freaking happy new news cycle. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Palmer. Sexy ass.
Just in case.
Also, hi.
In case the one we have now falls apart. Well, we'll get to that. In 2019, OpenAI gave up any pretense of being nonprofit and started a for-profit branch, then spun the for-profit out into its own entity in 2024. That for-profit organization has none of the same legal responsibilities as the nonprofit did. And
funny how that
brought in
goes
new
that way,
investors like Microsoft, which invested $13 billion, which OpenAI largely spent on Microsoft products. And it's not just Microsoft. NVIDIA has promised to invest $100 billion in OpenAI over the next few years. Money that OpenAI...
There you go, a loop of trust me bros. Being confirmed by the flow of capital, which then motivates further flow of capital. And the only thing that keeps it in check is the unwritten handshake between all of these governments and mega corporations, which is do not question it, do not talk to anybody that questions it, do not talk about the possibility of failure, because that is the only thing that can potentially make this thing burst. But if you really insist on doing it, and if you're going to do it at some point, if you really see that this bubble is going to burst, please tell us first so that we pull out our money before anyone else.
Will spend buying NVIDIA chips. OpenAI has similar circular deals with AMD, the Qatari government, and Larry Ellison's Oracle.
How about the $20 you owe me? Well, I only got 10, so here's 10 and I owe you 10. Thanks. Hey, Mo, you owe me 20. Well, here's 10 and I'll owe you 10. You owe me 20. Here's 10, I owe you 10. Here's 10, I owe you. Here's 10, I owe you. Here's 10, I owe you. Good, now we're all even.
The entire economy is tied to the success of Altman's project.
We might screw it up. Like, this is the bet that we're making.
Yes.
How old is this TikTok? Like, holy mother of God, dude. I have seen this, like this, in different iterations on TikTok and Instagram, like at least once a month for the last 300 years, dude. That's why More Perfect Union is based, like maybe they found the OG clip, okay? Now everybody should pay money to these three guys or the owner of this movie because intellectual property matters, okay?
Good, now we're all even.
The entire economy is tied to the success of Altman's project.
We might screw it up. Like, this is the bet that we're making, and we're taking a risk along with that.
Who is the we taking the bet? Here's OpenAI's CFO.
Banks, private equity, maybe even governmental, the ways governments can come to bear.
Meaning like a federal subsidy or something?
Meaning like just first of all, the backstop, the guarantee that allows the financing to happen.
Yeah. Fancy corporate words for if government invests in this shit, everybody's going to invest in this shit because they believe that a project is almost infallible when taxpayers' money is flowing into a project. Okay? That's corporate terminology.
Through all of that,
if the government invests, we will look serious to everybody, which will then make everybody else also invest, which will then motivate the government to also consider us serious and then invest even more. Like, government be like, private sector is better than our sector because it is more efficient. Here is money, private sector. And then private sector is, look, we are awesome because government gives us a lot of money. Other people in private sector, please give money now. Then they give money. And then the government again goes like, oh my God, look at how efficient they've been with our money. Line is going up. Maybe we should give them more money. Then they give them more money, and then the private sector company is like, look, the government gave us money for a second time. Doesn't that show just how stable and based we are? Okay? And then another private sector competitor or ally that invests even more, which makes the line go even more up, which makes the fucking government say, look how efficient they are because the line is going up. You see why they call it a bubble?
Stammering, the CFO of OpenAI is making a clear point. The government, your tax dollars, are responsible for saving the AI project. That's more eggs in the basket. And that basket is
Damn, my guy just spent like $5,000 worth of eggs.
based on the promises of Sam Altman, who, as we've illustrated, lies and breaks promises a lot. So if we really look at the basket, maybe we shouldn't have been putting all those eggs in there.
And it gets worse. While we were editing this video, news broke that OpenAI is seeking a $750 billion valuation and is in talks with Amazon for a $10 billion investment. That's money that OpenAI would spend on Amazon infrastructure. So I'm gonna need more eggs.
Thank you so much for watching.
Come on, you could have said how expensive they are. That was like a perfect moment potentially. Son of a bitch. There's the video.
If you enjoyed this video and want to support more of our quality journalism, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there are more stories like this one you want to see us cover, reach out to us at stories@perfectunion.us.
Okay, chat, it's palate cleanser time. Pour yourself your favorite hot or cold drink, drop some ice in it, and let's talk about anti-woke Christmas movies. I love reactionary mentality, especially when it's linked to the birth of a guy that said, forgive everyone and don't throw a rock at someone else unless you're perfect, which you're not. I'm the son of God, I know, because nobody's perfect, not even me. I'm going to go sacrifice myself now. And how a story such as that is interpreted by reactionaries as being nice is fucking horrible. You fucking Jew.
It's the holiday season, and in the words of Justin Bieber,
Lenny, I wasn't trying!
And in the other words of Justin Bieber, it's about time for you to act merrily. It's about time for you to
I haven't watched a Curtis Connor video in like 5 years. I watched Curtis, I think, in university, I think.
To charity. Christmas is all about being generous.
This man personally brought back the mullet, okay?
And spending quality time with your loved ones, right? Wrong. Christmas.
Buy. Consume. Subscribe. Gift. Gamble. And stuff like that. That's what Christmas is about. Do it now. What? We're going to spend your money on socks? Going to spend your money on gifts for your children? No, you should gamble here on your Gopnik Twitch. Make it go in circles. Make the streamer fucking angry. Punish the streamer for existing. He shouldn't exist. Donate more than 5 gift subs and gamble and do degenerate things, okay? It's actually unironically praxis. Wow, would you? Not sub to Hugo, literally 1984. Do it now. Spend all your money on Twitch gambling. It's literally it's a 100% win. Okay, you gift subs, that's a win because you gifted subs. You gamble and you win, that's a win because the streamer spends his own money and now there's more subs and everybody loves you even more. Or you lose, well, great. You gifted subs. You don't need to double them. That's perfectly understandable. Okay, that was the grift pitch. I think that was a 10 out of 10. Do it. Join us. Gamba.
This time is about owning the libs. The woke mob has gone.
Bro, you need to add 0. That's actually a great fucking point. How do I add 0? Exit wheel. Do. What numbers? Random numbers by range. 0, minimum. How do I edit this? Number of digits. Where is edit? How do... Tool settings. How do I edit? I think I can edit. Not editable. Son of a bitch. When I add 0, god damn it. Cuphead, why don't we have a 0 here? They told me that is going to help my odds. Cuphead. 0 is neither odd, even or odd though. That's exactly the point. If it hits on 0, then it's just like you lose. 0 is gambler always loses. Okay? 0 is gambler always loses. So
Too far. Pretty soon it's gonna be Frosty the Snow.
Zero is house wins. I'll fix. Thank you, Cuphead.
And I'm fucking pissed. Yeah, guys, where most Christmas movies will focus on the heart and soul of the holiday season, the Christmas movie we're gonna talk about this year focuses on how the woke left is ruining Christmas for everybody. And that movie is called Jingle Smells. It's available to watch for free on Tubi, which is always a good sign. And guys, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Every movie is good, and I stand by that, but I don't see Jingle Smells as a movie at all. Like, that does not fall under the movie category. And you'll know what I mean when we get into it. I actually found out about this movie from a creator on TikTok named Nulls, so I just want to give a quick shout out to them real quick. So Jingle Smells was released in 2023. It premiered on Rumble, and this film is especially unique because it was executively produced by the Fox News superstar Sean Hannity. And if you're unfamiliar with Sean Hannity, let's do a quick run through of his accolades. He was named in a defamation lawsuit against Fox News for spreading misinformation regarding voter fraud. He was accused of sexual misconduct in a separate lawsuit in response to Donald Trump bragging about grabbing women by the pussy. He said this.
King David had 500 concubines for crying out loud.
He's engaged in homophobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia, pretty much anything awful you can do as a journalist. Sean Hannity has done. He was also a fucking D1 Obama hater, bro. Like, he did not fuck with Obama whatsoever. And I'm not gonna sit here and say Barack Obama was a perfect president, but at least he looked good, man. Barack Obama was
literally every liberal of all time.
dripping in swag. No, he was drowning in it. Sorry, I misspoke. I said droning.
Okay.
Drone. Sean Hannity.
Based, okay. No, based.
The producer of
Turns out he's based.
this Jingle Smells movie. Famous.
Who says there's no left-wing dog whistles? That was a left-wing dog whistle on steroids. Like, right? Like, a normie would walk past us, like, whatever. A lefty is like, okay, this man looks at imperialism and does not say, I love this very much, it is great.
Criticized Barack Obama for putting Dijon mustard on a hamburger.
You got like a spicy mustard or something like that, or a Dijon mustard, something like that.
All right, Dijon mustard. I hope you enjoyed that fancy burger, Mr. President.
Dude, a bottle of Dijon mustard's like fucking $2, man. It's genuinely so funny to get pissed off about that and then also endorse Donald Trump, who lives in a fucking solid gold mansion.
What was the whistle? I mean, I was getting beer for you when he said drone, like implying that Obama was a mass murdering piece of shit.
That's like super villain shit, man. So if someone like Sean Hannity wants to produce a film, you know it's gonna be incredible the whole way through. So without further ado, let's watch Jingle Smells. The movie starts with a news broadcast from, you guessed it, Sean Hannity.
Pro-God, pro-military.
This is also when we meet the main character of the film, Nick. He's locked up in a jail cell at the prison for violating his parole.
Come on, Nick, you're killing me with that little guitar.
It's weird though, because they never say like what he's on parole for. Like we have no idea if it was like petty theft.
Also bet the only quote-unquote ethnics in this video are going to be police officers or civil administrators. There's not going to be any quote-unquote ethnics amongst the family of main characters. Wanna bet? Because I'm fucking betting.
It's weird though, because they never say like what he's on parole for. Like we have no idea if it was like petty theft or like murder. Like who knows? This is also when we find out that Nick's dad is the chief of police.
You do this again, I'm not letting you out. Let him out.
It's so great when conservatives are always like, "Oh, guys, cops are the good guys. Trust me. There's only a few bad apples. We should give them more money, actually." And then they go on and make a movie where in the first 2 minutes of the film, the police chief is literally bending the rules of the law for his own benefit. Like, good job, guys. Nice. So Nick is like the classic slacker character with no job, no direction in his life. And Nick's dad is always like bailing him out of these situations.
But I smooth it over for you.
But this time, it's different. Nick's dad says that this is the last time he's gonna ever help him out.
This is the last time.
And then he immediately helps him out one more time by getting him a job as a garbage man.
Oh my God.
I can't be picking up
non-unionized, of course. Comrade Internet, thank you for that gifty, baby.
Crash all day.
You then get the Jingle Smells title card. So that's where the smells comes from, because he's a garbage guy. Get it? Because garbage stinks. You know what else stinks? Not budgeting your money. Which brings us to the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. Simple and in-depth spending towards cutting spending reports to stay on top of your financial activity. So if you want to start taking control, you can get a free premium scan the QR code on screen. And I'll also include the link in my description.
Holy shit, chat. I think I am Spider-Man. I think whenever I cough or sneeze, videos speed up. It was not my intention to speed through the sponsored segment of this video, because I would never do unethical reacts, especially to channels with 5.5 million subscribers. It was just my superpower. When I sneeze, the thing that happens, ooh.
Because I'm a really nice guy. All right, thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Back to me. All right, so this next scene is where we get one of the main plot lines of the film. We get to these two news anchors talking about this action star, Mason Stone, who was recently canceled for a video he posted online.
Now Mason's career has taken a turn for the worse.
And this news anchor is played by everybody's favorite stand-up comedian, Jim Breuer. If you've never heard of him, I am so jealous of you. Not because you get
I have no idea who that is. I should be proud
to experience him for the first time right now. I'm jealous because you went your whole life without knowing that this guy exists. Just take a look at Jim Breuer doing his hilarious impression of a Chinese person.
You don't think China was watching that going, oh my God, she's so funny! She answered no question, so funny!
Man, they really got the...
It's not funny even in like a racist way. He couldn't even get the racist accent properly. What the fuck? Like, come on, dude. FML chat, these are racists. We're so fucked, dude. Come on, he didn't even do it like actually like enough.
The best of the best for Jingle Smells.
You want me to show how to properly do it? So how to properly do an incredibly racist, stereotypical Asian accent? Okay, so you go. That was funny, right? That was funny. Oh wait, I was muted the whole time. Ooh, who could have done that?
Man. Anyways, let's see what Mason Stone said in this video to get himself canceled.
May God bless America and may he protect our troops. USA! USA!
This is so corny, man. And I know they're exaggerating it for comedic effect, but I know for a fact there are people out there who genuinely think saying God bless America and protect our troops will genuinely get you canceled, and it's just straight up not true. You know how I know? Because God bless America and may he protect our troops is exactly what Chris Pratt says whenever a camera is pointed at him, okay?
Hey guys, just stop real quick and pray with me.
And he gets cast in every movie ever. They could come out with a fucking Oprah Winfrey biopic and Chris Pratt would get the part. So they spend the next few minutes showing the public's outrage towards Mason Stone. And by public's outrage, I mean just one video.
Now is the time to boycott Stone!
And this is also when they show the CEO of Cash Bro Toys, played by Eric Roberts. And he's announcing that they are discontinuing any toys that have to do with Mason Stone.
His recent actions do not currently align with our corporate values. We will no longer be manufacturing or distributing any toys, games, or other products related to Mason Stone characters.
It's always great when conservative
and corporate values.
Theater kids in chat.
We will no longer be manufacturing or distributing any toys, games, or other products related to Mason Stone characters.
Theater kids in chat, come on, you had to spotted it. You spotted it, right? My guy is reading the fucking script. He didn't memorize the script. My guy's reading the script. Are you blind?
Saying that they are discontinuing any toys.
He is reading the script
to do with Mason Stone.
His recent actions do not currently align with our corporate values. We will no longer be manufacturing or distributing any toys, games, or other products related to.
He's fucking reading the script. He couldn't memorize his lines. He gave so little shit. Oh god, he did. top shit yet.
Two Mason Stone characters.
It's always great when
Oh,
conservatives
sorry.
complain about cancel
Got
culture because they're always just so hypocritical. They're always like, it's a free country, man, free speech. We should be able to say whatever we want. But then just a few months ago, if someone said literally anything that could be viewed as remotely insensitive about Charlie Kirk, they'd have a mob of angry right-wing people trying to get them fired from their job. That's like textbook cancel culture, dude.
Call them out. In hell, call their employer.
And also, dude, Jim Brewer can go on stage and do a fucking super offensive Chinese accent.
Oh my gosh, she's so funny!
And still do shows in theaters all across America. Louis C.K. can whip his willy out in front of several non-consenting women and then go on to sell out Madison Square Garden and also win a Grammy. So I don't know if cancel culture actually exists in the way that they're portraying it, you know? But anyways, let's get back to it. Nick is now working as a garbage man, and when I say working as a garbage man, I mean playing volleyball and having a pillow fight. I do love this scene though, because this guy in particular, he's supposed to be like the angry, like supervisor dude who's like just trying to get the work done. But then when they hit him with a pillow, he can't help but smile. I don't know, I thought that was really adorable. Genuinely, I think that was the only time I smiled while watching this movie. And I don't even think it was in the script. It's a nice reminder that no matter how shitty your day is going, if someone starts a pillow fight with you, you're gonna have a good day.
Pillow fight.
Bro, get up. Like, it's a pillow fight, dude. Fight back. I go over there earlier when I needed to grab some food, and my fiance is wrapping all the capitalist Christmas gifts and shit because I refused to be part of the problem. She was so happy, and there's like Christmas music playing, and there's like a little Christmas tree, like we're all living in America. In America ist wunderbar, right? And she's all happy, but she was wrapping the first one, and now I go back over there. I'm like, oh, is she wrapping the prezzies? Yes, we talk like that sometimes. It's cringe. And she's fucking quiet. And I'm like, oh, shit, did I do something wrong? She's not replying to me. If she's not, when a woman doesn't reply to you, you're like, you did something wrong, but you don't even know what you did. And I go over, and thankfully I didn't do anything wrong. She's just like fucking angry. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? She's like, I fuck my own mother. This is not for me. Why the fuck am I doing this? Because she's on present number 10. Now she fucking hates it. And it's no longer Christmas music. It's just fucking hip hop, like fucking banging in the background. She's anger rapping now. Probably if you look at all the presents, like from the first ones that she did, probably it's gonna be like perfectly wrapped. And the further down it goes, the more fucked up they're gonna look like. Oh Lord. Look at the presents. They were supposed to be a surprise. No.
Oh yeah. And then cut to Nick.
Fiance Gopnik is a mood and a half. Right.
Nick back at his apartment. And look, I know this character is supposed to be like a slacker, you know? So I can expect that he's gonna have a messy apartment. But Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Is he wiping his ass on his wall?
My guy is Asmongold. The main character of this show is Asmongold if he did not have Twitch money.
In his house alone, no job, just smearing his own shit on his walls. Wallpaper's the same as toilet paper. Fucking turning his drywall into wet wall, dude. What the hell? Nick then meets his dad at a coffee shop.
Very realistic right-wing Christmas movie. Right-wingers literally wipe their shit and blood on the wall. Now that's Asmongold with Twitch money.
Shop where this happy man is singing Christmas songs. And if I know anything about shitty Christmas movies, any character with a gray beard is Santa in disguise. So I'm gonna call it right now. If we find out that this guy is Santa, I'm gonna fucking flip.
On Christmas Day.
This is a pretty important part of the movie. This is when we find out that Nick actually used to be in the army.
With what you dealt with what you saw? I mean, I only saw it on TV, and I probably would have crawled into a bottle too if I didn't have Lisa.
So Nick was injured during his service, and now he's back in his hometown trying to find a purpose in his life.
Father and son, both serving in the same war, are nearly 20 years apart. How wild is that, huh?
2 generations fighting in the same war. Ain't that just a hoot, man? This is such a bummer. This guy played Clark Kent's dad in Smallville. And now he's playing the dad of a man who smears poop on his walls, man. How the mighty fall. Went from parenting Superman to fucking Pooperman, bro. We then get a quick scene between Nick's dad and his girlfriend Lisa. And Lisa thinks that Nick's dad is doing way too much for Nick, and that Nick needs to start acting like an adult. And you know what? I agree.
He is a grown man.
I don't care if you got PTSD or not. Quit wiping shit on your walls, pal. PTSD. Put the shit down. So it's now the next day. Nick wakes up in his literal shitty apartment. And classic lazy slacker guy, he slept through his alarm. And Nick's coworker tells him that they're...
Hey, maybe you should start streaming on Twitch. I hear people with apartments like yours do really well on that platform. Many people subscribe to them. They do not subscribe to You Got Nick, who can allow you to gamble your subscriptions, though. They only subscribe to people with shit on their walls.
Regular garbage man duties have been put on hold as they've been hired to pick up a big load of boxes at a company's warehouse and dispose of them at a dump.
We are picking up some load and we're heading to a landfill.
Nick hastily gets ready, falls over, spits milk out of his mouth, and runs out of the house with a piece of pizza hanging from his mouth. This is just more proof he's living in an anime. They get to the location of the trash removal, and nobody will tell them who the client is.
Who's the client? That's privileged information.
But this is a ton of product that needs to be destroyed immediately. Pretty much
too young to deploy to the Middle East, too old to deploy to the Middle East, just in time to deploy to the Middle East. Kurva.
An entire warehouse full of boxes, and for some reason, this huge corporation hired 2 garbage men with a city-owned garbage truck to be the guys to dispose of it.
You fellas got days, a week tops. These all need to be gone before Christmas.
But this is a super confidential job, so this guy is going to be supervising them and watching them like a hawk.
And the client strictly said, keep this on the DL.
But then immediately after saying that, he says this.
Now, I would help, but as you know, I got several other responsibilities to take care of around here.
So fucking which is it, man? And don't try anything funny. I'll be watching you all day. Okay, all right, I gotta go. I can't watch you all day. So before they start squishing the boxes in the garbage truck, they decide to open one up to see what's inside. And what they find is fucking...
Guys, Jerkin Peanutson is asking you for a favor. Give Jerkin Peanutson what he wants, because I want to see that link that he has.
Yeah, crazy.
What is it? It's Silver Saturn. Silver Saturn was Mason Stone's big role.
Yeah, guys, it's all the Mason Stone action figures that they're throwing out because he got canceled by the libs.
Big client. They're keeping all hush-hush. Just Cash Bro Toys. They rent this place out, and this is where they're stashing all the Mason Stone stuff.
And yeah, I feel like if there was a huge company that needed to dispose of a bunch of product really quickly, I think they would dispose of it themselves immediately. Like, it makes no sense.
Thank you, Scarlett, for gifting us up to Jorkin Penis. I love this community. Have I ever said that I love this community? Because I love this community, okay?
It's about a...
Now, this movie would be 2 minutes long if he did what every... No, I can't make that joke. Fuck.
Bunch of like...
It was trust me, it was a funny joke, but TOS.
Canceled toys in a huge warehouse for fucking days. And it's so crazy because they probably threw out all these toys because some college kid got triggered on the internet or something.
You know, it's all because some college kid on the internet got triggered or something.
Hey, that's what I said. So during his shift, Nick starts walking around aimlessly outside because he's awful at everything he does. And he comes across a sad little boy sitting on the ground.
Some little girls up at the park were throwing rocks at me. One hit my chain and the bats were broken.
Seriously? They're throwing rocks? What is this, the West Bank?
Jesus Christ, man.
Why is that playing?
You know what? I wish cancel culture was actually real, so whoever wrote that fucking line could be barred from ever writing dialogue ever again. What the fuck? Little tip, if you're trying to make your protagonist like a likable guy, maybe don't have him tell a super lame and out of touch joke about Palestine. You know, putting that joke in the movie doesn't surprise me because fucking Sean Hannity produced this quote unquote movie. But anyways, this sad little kid keeps talking to this...
Thank you, Scarlett, for picking the people that Scarlett gifts to. Now we got Ding Dong Grandy Pants with a gift sub. Thank you very much, Scarlett, and thank you to Ding Dong and Jorking Peeners. Sorry, I'm looking for every excuse to say their names. It's fucking incredible.
Strange man for some reason. And then he reveals some more personal details about himself.
Do you live near here?
Yeah, over there on Rice Street.
And then the little kid's bullies show up and start chirping him again.
Hurry back to your little hole in the wall.
And now Nick is magically...
It is two females attacking a biracial male child. In the brain of a right-winger, we must defend the biracial male child, not because we love the fact that his parents did the evil sin, but because still a biracial male child is superior to the female children. Now, if the situation was different and pure white boys were attacking this biracial male child, we would of course choose the side of the white boys.
On the other side,
it is only natural to embrace the hierarchy of those who embrace into your hierarchy those who look more similar to you.
The fence, arguing with these little girls.
Where are your elves, Jingle Smells?
It's the title of the movie!
Jingle Smells, stinking all the way!
So Nick shoves the little girls to the ground in a fit of anger, and I'm kidding, he doesn't do that, but you probably believe me, right? We then cut back to the CEO of Cash Bro, still freaking out about cancel culture.
When is this cancel culture nonsense gonna stop?
It's so funny these people are like, oh, when is cancel culture gonna stop? Yet the only people talking about it the entire time in this movie is them. They showed a video of one person being upset about the Mason Stone video, and then nothing else. Like, these people are making it a way bigger deal than it actually is.
Ironically, it's a very good movie, properly depicting American right-wingers. It's inventing a elephant in the room and then complaining about it throughout the entire time without there being really anybody except you guys who's talking about said elephant. You know, they made a real piece of art, really did societal commentary without intending to. They failed their way upwards.
Accountability is when there is proof you did something wrong.
Exactly. Okay, you know what? I can agree with that. Enough of these witch hunts. There needs to be definitive proof that the person did something wrong if you're gonna cancel them. I agree with that. Like when Donald Trump was proven guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. By their logic, they should be canceling that guy any minute now. I'll wait.
We used to have a thing called due process. Are they teaching that in law school still, that you're innocent until proven guilty?
Yes, another classic pillar in the conservative belief system. Everybody has the right to due process. Unless you're an immigrant, of course. Then they don't give a fuck about due process. They'll just have ICE detain you, put you in a detention center, and then have you deported before you can actually have a real trial. Just like the founding fathers wanted it to be. Okay, so Nick then meets up with a popular toy review YouTuber named Pop Frog. This Pop Frog guy specializes in buying rare toys. So Nick's plan is to sell one of the discarded Mason Stone action figures to him.
Is that a legit Silver Saturn?
Pop Frog is a little skeptical, so he's got to do his intense, thorough investigation to see if it's legit.
Let me check it out. Wow, this is legit.
Huh? What did that do?
This is legit.
I feel like if he was really an expert on rare toys, he'd be able to tell that it was real by being literally right beside it. All Nick did was move it like a few inches closer to it. This is a real samurai sword used by a real samurai. I'll be the judge of that.
And they were probably like dying laughing in the production room when they were like, we're gonna have a little person and he's gonna drive around in a limo. Get it, he is small, but his car is large, and he collects toys. It is a great allegory about his size too, don't you think?
What? Oh my god!
This is legit!
And then Pop Frog brings up a pretty good point that I brought up.
Also, when this movie becomes incredibly popular and everybody judges us for not employing enough quote-unquote minorities, we'll be able to say, ha-ha! We did employ a minority, a little person. Don't you recognize they also get discriminated? You woke hypocrite. We put him in the limo, by the way. It is a very long car, the limo, and he's a short man. It is hilarious.
A few minutes ago.
I thought they incinerated these right away.
Yeah, again, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. Nobody can know that we made thousands of these action figures, so they need to be destroyed immediately. Let's hire
2 random unsupervised garbage men
and give them an entire week to do it. That's like hiring a random person to go into a bank vault and polish all the gold bars, but then turn all the security cameras off and leave them a disguise and a new identity with a new passport and everything. What could go wrong? But anyways, Nick sells this action figure to the YouTuber for $200.
$200.
Done.
And plans to bring more action figures to sell.
What if I told you I had more?
We then cut to Nick's dad having dinner with his girlfriend while this jolly guy plays Christmas songs in the background. Again, if this guy is Santa, I'm gonna flip.
The stars are bright.
But they're arguing about how Nick never pays them back when they lend him money.
Well, a loan implies.
Imagine you take your wife to a fucking restaurant and there's a guy over there just doing this.
Songs in the background. Again, if this guy is Santa, I'm gonna flip.
The stars are bright.
But they're arguing about
Motherfucker, what the fuck?
how Nick never pays them back when they lend him money.
Well, a loan implies repayment, and to date, he has not paid you back a single dime.
But then Nick shows up and absolutely flexes on them.
That's the first installment.
What bank did you rob?
We then get a nice clip of some textbook awful editing.
Where did you get this much cash?
Or maybe his dad is a ventriloquist on the side. I don't know.
Where did you get this much cash?
We now cut to the little boy who is getting bullied. He opens his door and finds a Christmas present sitting on his doorstep. He opens it up and it's one of the canceled Mason Stone action figures.
Wow.
And the card attached to the gift reads,
Merry Christmas, Silas, from Jingle Smells?
So yeah, I guess Nick stalked this little boy.
What is this movie? God fucking damn it.
To find out where he lived, and then made him an accessory in his crime by giving him one of the stolen toys he was supposed to destroy.
What a nice guy.
Imagine on the card it said, P.S. Check your walls. That's my poop. We then cut to the Cash Bros CEO finding out that Pop Frog has several of the Mason Stone action figures, and he's pretty upset.
How the heck did he get it?
Yeah, I wonder how. Oh man, real fucking whodunit.
We'll find out and squash him.
Dude, these guys are so dumb. Anyone with a brainstem would be like, ah, fuck, it's gotta be the only.
Deploy private military corporation. Deploy our PMCs. We must find the dealers of canceled toys. I would pay money to live in a conservative man's mind for like a day. It would be incredible. Thank you, Hey Kachira, for the 21 months. Fucking true OG. Thank you, Hey Kachira, very much. If you want to be like Hey Kachira, you know what to do.
Two guys that have access to the toys right now.
No more monkey business.
But that same day, the sad little boy tracks down Nick to tell him about the gift.
You talked to Santa, didn't you? That toy was awesome.
Oh, hey, no, we don't talk about that out loud, okay?
Okay, but why?
Just because it's between me and you, you know, and the big guy.
The president?
No, not him. Don't go near him.
So this movie was made when Joe Biden was still president. So that was supposed to be a diss towards him when they said don't go near him.
Don't go near him.
But I think that dialogue holds up. You know, I think that joke still works when you're talking.
You joke, but there was a time when Wizards of the Coast sent the Pinkertons after a guy for magic cards. Yeah, that's very funny. That never happened. What?
About Donald Trump because
no way.
You know. Nick then lies to Silas and tells him that Santa asked Nick to help him deliver presents this year.
A lot of kids on the block probably won't be getting much for Christmas.
Okay, you're right, kid. Santa did talk to me, and he asked me for help.
So he gets Silas to give him the addresses of all the low-income households in the neighborhood so he can deliver presents to the less fortunate.
So Santa, he did give me some toys, but he forgot to give me a list, and I don't know where all the good kids live.
We then get this emotional scene where Nick is walking home and he's seeing everybody struggle during the holiday season. This couple can't afford a Christmas tree while the evil Christmas tree salesman is openly counting all the money he's made. First time I've ever seen someone try to paint a fucking Christmas tree salesman as evil, but you know, at least this movie's trying something new. Also, if you can't afford a Christmas tree, just chop one down. Trees are everywhere and we don't even need them. We need to replace every forest with a Bass Pro Shop. Why do we need the Amazon if there's Amazon? Sorry, I'm just trying to appeal to this film's general audience. So Nick is absolutely fed up with this Christmas injustice. So this is when he becomes Jingle Smells. He runs around town dropping off gifts to the less fortunate kids all over. And when I say
But isn't it socialism?
gifts, he's just dropping off the same couple of action figures to every household. And this is what is like so funny to me about a conservative Christmas film. Because Christmas movies are always about like being generous and charitable and helping people in need. But when the fuck has the conservative government ever done anything for people in need? Donald Trump's recently passed One Beautiful Bill Act will leave 18 million children without access to free lunches. Just over 1 million people will be cut off from their SNAP benefits. And also 12 million people could lose health coverage because of the bill's massive cuts to Medicaid. Which, by the way, 1 in 10 veterans rely on Medicaid for their health benefits. And the main character of this fucking movie is a war veteran struggling to get by in his daily life. Like, how do they not fucking see the irony, dude? A conservative Christmas movie does not make sense. Straight up, conservatives would not fuck with Santa Claus if he was a real guy. A dude from a foreign country giving free toys to children and eating your cookies? If Santa wasn't shot in the chest for trespassing, ICE would fucking capture Santa Claus and slit his throat live on Fox News. All right, sorry, let's get back to the movie. All the kids find the action figures delivered to
Okay, that was pretty funny.
them by Jingle Smells, and word gets out about this. So we now cut back to the news anchors.
Who left the gifts or where they acquired them remains a mystery.
Who could it be? We then cut back to this guy playing the worst song ever on his guitar. If he's Santa Claus, I'm gonna flip. Nick then has a meeting with his dad, who's still skeptical about how he's making all that money.
And I hope you're keeping your nose clean.
Yeah, I don't think it's his nose you gotta worry about him keeping clean. Have you seen his apartment?
Okay, we milked this enough. It was fun. New good work video. Can money make you happy? I don't know.
Can money?
I don't care about money. I care about gambling. 5 subs or more, and we gamble. That's the only thing you need money for. Gambling on Twitch. This is true.
Buy happiness. It's a question that's vexed humans for centuries. From the discontented kings of old.
I was invested. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Everybody's going to love him, find that he's the real Santa, then some big businessman is going to give him a job, and everybody's going to realize that canceling people is very bad, and then the wrestler will also become very popular again, and they're going to be like friends and hold hands and Zeke Kyle together.
To these
Maybe
sad,
without the last part.
rich ambition demons surrounding me here in Manhattan. But no matter how many times it's posed in clickbait articles and pop science podcasts, we simply can't seem to find an answer. But I'm about to change that. I'm here at the happiest place on earth, Harvard Business School.
I was in this Ivied oasis to meet the man who both wrote a book and talked the TED on money and happiness.
Michael Norton is a professor here at Harvard Business School and a leading behavioral economics researcher. Let's see if
Hey, I made a video on this topic. Holy shit, I'm the same like a Harvard researcher. Hey.
he can teach me how to behave. Michael, great to have you here.
Great to meet.
All right, or thank you for having us, rather.
Yeah.
With my characteristically smooth exchange of pleasantries out of the way, it was time to turn the screws on Professor Norton and get my answer.
How much money do I need to be happy?
How much do you have?
Not enough.
It's a tricky question, actually. So it's hard to know the exact dollar amount, but what we do know is when we ask people how much they think they need, they typically say 2 to 3 times as much as I have right now. But the weird thing is we can ask people who have $50,000 and they say, if I only had 2 to 3 times more, I'd be perfectly happy. We can also ask people who have $3 million and they also say, yeah, if I only had 2 to 3 times as much, I'd be happy.
Michael was saying a lot of numbers.
Turns out, no matter how wealthy you are, you will always search for something else to fill that gaping hole inside of you. And then capitalism will tell you, no, it's more money. Trust me, this thing that you've dedicated most of your life towards accruing, that is not making you happy. How about you keep doing that same thing, which is literally the definition of insanity, and trust me, at some point the hole will be filled. We are all collectively lobotomized. Yeah.
That's for sure. But I still wasn't hearing a solid answer. I decided to give him one more try before I used my power to dismiss him with voiceover and move on to another interview with a smarter guy.
So lots of people have looked into the correlation, just straight up.
Like when somebody asks me, how many subscribers do you want? I say 2 to 3 times this number. You see, I am also a victim. And you should treat me as a victim and try and save me by being like 16-bit comrade and subscribing. Make me happy, chat. Give me 2-3 times what I already have.
How does money correlate with happiness? And one of the things that we did was we tried to do experiments. So we tried to give people money and have them go do stuff and then see which thing makes people happy and which thing doesn't make people happy. So we were trying to get at not so much how much you make in a year.
Damn, Yossarian, I guess that pitch helped. Oh my god, I'm a little bit less sad. Ooh, I'm still a little bit less sad, thank you, Yossarian.
and how happy you are. But
Also, Sarian, do you want to gamba or not? If you want to gamba, say even or odd, and then we will gamble.
But what you do with it. The first thing people think to do with money
Or
is
say I don't want to gamble if you don't want to gamble, of course.
spend it on themselves. And the problem is, if you look at the data, it's not that
Even, boss. Welcome to the true thing that makes everybody happy. The only thing that anybody should be using money on. In my version of socialism, any accrued currency over a certain amount will not be reinvested because that would make it capital, which is forbidden under socialism. Instead, you would be able to gamble it. And if you make more of it, the amount you make that's extra goes to somebody who might be struggling more, okay? From each, according to their ability, to each according to their need, facilitated through socialist gambling. Let us go, let us go, let us go. Did we add 0? Wait, let me see if 0 is going to pop up if I reopen it. No, 0 is still not here. I do not have a 0. What did our better say? Even. Okay, spin, 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 spin. Da-dum-dum-da-dum. 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 Da-dum. Oh, baby, baby, baby. And, as always, I have been proven victorious. And by always, I mean 5% of the time. Thank you for trying. You did not double your subs.
spending money on yourself makes you unhappy. It's really just there's not a strong relationship. If we say, have you ever felt happy when you give to charity or give to someone? People say, yeah. And then they say, have you done it lately? And they say, no.
What is a harder concept for business school students to grasp, happiness or giving people money?
I couldn't help but feel like me and Professor Norton simply weren't on the same page. I was explicitly asking him just how much money I needed to make to finally achieve happiness, and he wouldn't stop talking about giving money away. It made no sense. I needed to find someone with as impressive of credentials, but who would actually give me a hard number on which to set my sights.
There's a very famous paper that concluded that there was this plateau between money and happiness beyond around $75,000.
Now we're talking.
Viewers, we're getting down to crunch time for Christmas gifts. But if you've been procrastinating, never fear. Daddy Dan is here to save you. It's just what I do. May I present to you Aura Frames. They don't all come with this photo. Aura Frames are nifty digital frames that look classy as hell and help you keep in touch with your loved ones from afar. An Aura Frame would be a fantastic gift at any time of the year, but quite frankly, I genuinely do not think you're gonna find something better on this short of notice. So listen up. Here's how they work, and don't worry, it's super simple. You just buy this frame here for the loved one in question, then you download the Aura app, which allows you to upload beautiful photos and videos, which are then displayed in the frame itself. For demonstration purposes, I have used my very own Aura app to upload various photos to this gorgeous Carver matte frame of my face photoshopped onto the body of various incredibly jacked people. I will be giving this frame to my brother, so he has constant reminders that I am strong and mighty, whereas he is small and weak. Oh, and also every Aura frame comes with a premium gift box with no price tag included. Very important for last minute giving. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling.
It's pretty crazy how like Aura, like the app, is one of the biggest sponsors, and now there's another big sponsor on YouTube, and it's also called Aura. That's insane, Aura, bro.
Carver matte
you see what I did there?
Frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code GOODWORK at checkout. That's auraframes.com with the promo code GOODWORK. This deal is exclusive to viewers, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays and support the channel by mentioning us at checkout. I know you always do. Terms and conditions apply. And to my brother, I am stronger than you.
Matt Killingsworth is a senior fella at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, where he runs one of the world's largest studies on human happiness. Wharton is an institution of great history, and more importantly, a place where many people learn how to accumulate wealth until happiness oozes out of their pores and the pores of their progeny.
I ran this really big study that had a fantastic measure of kind of the levels of happiness that people experience, and I saw no evidence for a plateau at all. It just keeps going up. Modestly, but very steadily.
These squirrely academics wouldn't stop overcomplicating the issue, but I could play their game too.
You found that money and happiness have a logarithmic relationship. Is that different than a polyamorous relationship?
Maybe you could combine them.
I've tried.
So maybe you just need to earn more money, and then you can see what you can put together.
But when you describe a logarithmic relationship, what is it? Is this what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a big word for me.
So if you plot this out, you could imagine happiness.
And then underneath it should write gambling.
And then you have money.
Gambling, alcohol, and cigarettes. Okay? Gambling, alcohol, and cigarettes. If you can afford to gamble, drink, and smoke cigarettes 24/7, I can guarantee you will be happy. If you can just live for 60 years straight, every day gambling, smoking cigarettes, and drinking, you would be happy.
Logarithmic basically means we're going up in proportional
If you're really rich, maybe you can buy some guns and fast cars.
increments. So you could imagine each of these hash lines being a doubling of income. What we used to think was happening is that happiness rises up to around this level, happiness rises, and then doesn't really improve. And essentially what I found is that this part is basically right, but instead it just keeps going up in a straight line.
So people here in general.
So you're telling me I can achieve 100% happiness if I have all the gambling, cigarettes, and alcohol in the world, okay?
Are a lot happier than people here.
They're happier on average. So, you know, I'm squishing all of this down.
Despite the squishing, I was making progress. I now had incontrovertible proof that the more money you had, the happier you got. And the goal was to get as far up this polyamorous red line as possible. But what would it actually feel like to be up there in the top right corner of this whiteboard? I asked Matt if his research had turned up an answer.
There are a lot of things we can run experiments with, but money is actually quite a bit trickier because it's so darn expensive to run an experiment where you give people enough money to matter for happiness. But there's a natural experiment. They're called lotteries, and there have been some really great studies that have found that the people who play and win are not only happier than the people who play and don't win, but they followed up 5 or 10 years later and found they continue to be fairly substantially happier.
So we got to meet a lottery winner, or we have to win the lottery.
That would be interesting.
This will always be like unscientific because defining happiness is so subjective that you cannot use it as a constant in all your research because one person's definition of happiness is very different to another person's definition of happiness. But if we try to turn happiness into a constant by saying happy people are those that claim they are happy, then yes, sure, maybe we can do the experiment, but still, it leads to nothing. But whatever, still, it's an enjoyable, interesting conversation. And I still do believe that the more you can afford to gamble, smoke, and drink, the happier you are.
Interesting.
Okay. If one thing was clear at this point in the investigation, it was that lottery winners are happy as shit. So I had to speak to one myself. Timothy Schultz won the lottery in 1999, winning over 20 million.
Wait, let me see the new wheel. Now it has 0. Yeah, baby, you go gamba wheel. Very good.
$, in almost a day. So I'm here to speak to him right in our studio.
That ambiguity is part of all soft sciences. There's still important insights to gain from that. Yes, I agree. I'm happier these days with less money than I was 10 years ago with significantly more money. It did hit a cap for me. For most normal people, it should hit a cap. Okay, you know when it doesn't hit a cap? It's when you don't have anything else, okay? If your career growth and just accruing capital for the sake of capital is the main thing, you wake up in the morning for, then obviously you being wealthier is going to make you happier. But if that's not the only thing that your entire world revolves around, then you're not. Then it's not. Obviously you're going to be happier because you can afford more things. You don't have to think about the bills, all the cliche stuff that you know. But how exponentially happier you get, whether you are a completely career-oriented person, not career-oriented, finance-oriented person, versus because there's careers that you go into not because you want to make some money, versus somebody with other goals in life, the amount, the intensity of how it will influence your quote-unquote happiness graph going up is going to change.
My first question for you right out of the gate, Timothy, are you happy?
Most days. I try to be happy. Yeah.
The way you're not framing your hair is making me exceptionally unhappy.
I think so.
There it was, the look of someone who had enough money to be happy. And here was my chance to find out how he did it, so that one day I might look in the mirror and see my own face wearing that grin.
So you interview a lot of lottery winners.
Also, like using lottery winners as your data pool. Toasty, tell me if I'm wrong. But using lottery winners as your data pool on how much happier people become when they have more money is very skewed because of the type of people involved in the entire data pool. I'm overcomplicating this. Lottery winners are gamblers. Gamblers have a hyperfixation on quote-unquote being very wealthy because they want to win said lottery. So, of course, the amount of happiness they get out of winning the lottery is going to be max because they're the type of person who associates happiness with financial growth. So yeah, it's a skewed data pool.
Winners. Would you say the majority of the people that you interview are also
There's methods to correct for bias, but I don't know the exact methodology, so we can't really do anything but take it at face value. Okie dokes.
happy?
Most people that I've met and interviewed overwhelmingly have been happier, but it's not a black or white situation. I mean, the truth is that if you win the lottery, if you win a major prize, then who you are on the inside is really what matters, because who you are on the inside can be magnified. And if you're this terribly unhappy person on the inside, you might still be unhappy after the exhilaration of winning wears off.
Oh no. I'd come all this way only for Timothy.
That's kind of a smart point.
The podcast host / lottery winner to tell me that the very nature of my investigation might be flawed. If the true solution to...
Yeah, what was that saying? If you want to know an enemy, if you're judging, if you don't know whether somebody is a friend or an enemy, give them money and they will reveal themselves or some shit. Remember that? What was that saying? You know, because it's easy to be a nice person when you can't afford to be a fucking dick, and when you have to rely on other people. But it gets a little bit more difficult when you have a lot of money and now you have to actively choose not to help other people out, or can afford to be a dick to them because do not rely on your community as much and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Thank you, Stay Mighty. Thank you very much. I'm missing the exact sentence. If you want to know your friend, then no. It had a whole ring to it, if anybody remembers. If you want enemies, try to change something. HR quote. The important thing is not being rich, but making money consistently. This means gambling is ideal because you hit the jackpot periodically, not only once. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Let's gamble!
Happiness lay inside the soul rather than the wallet. I stood no chance. My soul is as black as my outside is white.
Timothy, for the purposes of this interview, I'm gonna need you to tell me that winning the lottery is necessary. I'm gonna need to be incredibly wealthy to be happy. Because if I'm not incredibly wealthy, what's even the point? You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to basically, yeah, I mean, you can do, I mean, the truth is you can do anything, whether you are incredibly wealthy or not. Dreams can come true, but it helps. It's a huge leg up if you have lots of money, I mean, or win a lottery, because you have more opportunities, your quality of life can be better.
Good enough for me. I now had my marching orders. Over the course of my journey, my head learned lots of information, much of it unsatisfactory for men.
Might have won the lottery, but not the charisma lottery. Come on, he's cute. I want to eat him. I want to keep him in my house and feed him food and like put him under blankets and play like nice movies to him. Stay mighty, what's up with the 17 months, you crazy motherfucker? 17 months, that's a crazy number. That number is crazy. It is a crazy number. Thank you, Stay mighty. Thank you very much. Crazy number in here.
Who enjoy talking a lot with their hands. In order to be happy, I've been told I needed 2 to 3 times as much money as I had. I've been told that true happiness lay in giving money away. I've been told I needed $75,000. Then I'd been told I needed more than $75,000, ideally as much more as possible. Finally, here was something I could act on. I'd conclusively learned that in this messy business of happiness, winning the lottery was an undeniable leg up. And I'd also learned how to do it.
There's many people that have won mass amounts of money after intentionally trying to manifest jackpots. They put the energy out there. They believed that it was going to happen. They visualized it. They felt it. And then it happened in real life. And whether you think...
Yeah, but that's every single guy that ever tried to get the jackpot in history of ever.
That's a coincidence or not, I respect.
Yes, it is, because all the other ones that never won it also really manifested hard.
Respect you, but it's
the secret.
Interesting.
I need to start manifesting, is what you're saying.
And with that, I knew.
He's trying to say that we should all gamble. So I remind all of you, 5 gift subs or more, and you can do it. The only place on Twitch where you can ethically gamble and potentially double the amount of subs you have. !Gamba if you want to see how.
That finding the right amount of money to make me happy wouldn't be difficult in the slightest. All I had to do
He won in the 1999 peak secret era, yeah.
was manifest winning the lottery. Can I get one jackpot fortune, one of the number 21s? Thank you. And do you have cigarettes? That's $30.
Dude, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Golly. A $5 game would be great. One.
So in order to find happiness, I encourage everyone to go out and do the sensible thing. Buy a scratch ticket from the first
Imagine how incredible the video would be if he actually won.
newsstand you find on the street.
Hi. I'm so sorry. Can I get another?
You know what I'm doing for my wedding? This is the woman's idea. You know how on weddings every guest receives like a small gift? At least that's the case in Eastern Europe. And even if it's a small gift, it ends up being quite expensive. And it's something that nobody ever uses and tosses away immediately or loses during the evening. You know what we're going to do? You guys are going to love this. And all of your subscriptions go towards this wedding. The wedding's literally going to start out with gambling. The little gift that every guest receives is going to be a nice, pretty envelope with something in it. And then when they open it, it's going to say, if you win, 50% for the bride and the groom. And they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? And then they are going to take out a lottery ticket. No, not a lottery ticket, a scratch card. I am going to give all my wedding guests scratch cards. I am going to give every single one of my guests scratch cards. I can't even imagine what the lady, when I buy it, is gonna think of me. And I think I'm gonna win most of it back. That's the crazy part. I'm probably gonna win most of it back. So plus, it's going to be a great, silence killer, a great icebreaker. People are gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe these fucking cunts did this. But then also like some might win, and then it's gonna be funny, and then we're gonna chase each other to give each other money. And it would be insane if somebody like wins a very large amount, but that I'm scared of. I don't want anyone to win a very large amount, because then the whole wedding is just gonna be about that. Get it? Like everybody's gonna forget that they're at a wedding, and just gonna obsess over the guy that just won $100,000. But then I would also need to get $50,000, so I guess that's worth the wedding not being that wedding oriented anymore. Or I might lose a friend, which is more likely. Like the friend that actually wins it just runs away with it and doesn't give me 50%. But then there's going to be like over 100 other people that are going to know that they're a piece of shit that ran away without paying the money. You know? So yeah. I don't know if you like the idea. I think it's funny. It's going to cost as much as a typical wedding gift thing for the guests costs, but it's also going to be edgy. And I just don't know what the legality is. If anybody actually wins a crazy amount of money, like, can I force them into giving me 50% is what I'm asking, basically. Today is the anniversary of Spain's first astronaut. Oh, that's cool. Won't be a spoken contract. Yeah, to an extent, it's not even going to be spoken. It's going to be written on the envelope. But they will not have agreed on it. I guess you agree on it by opening it. I could ask a real lawyer. Do we have lawyers in chat? How do I make sure I get 50% of anybody that wins? So yes, there will be gambling on my wedding, and all subscriptions do help towards the wedding, so it's hilarious. Guess what I got in the mail today? Oh, that is so cute. That is so cool. Thank you so much for sending this. Oh, this is so cool. Got the merch and you got the pussy. Hell yeah, my friend. Hell yeah. Nice. Thank you for sending this. That's very kind of you. Thank you. We're going to do a... what's the word? We're going to do a fit rating with merch next week, most likely. When my fucking merch finally arrives. God damn it.
Another one of these? Then buy another? No, I didn't win. I don't think I won. And another. Hi, I'm sorry. Can I get 2 more of those? Thank you. And another. I think I won. I think I won.
How much?
$5.
You want one more ticket or you want cash?
Another ticket would be great. Thank you.
How do you go about measuring happiness? And would you say that mine is normal size?
As far as I can tell from this far away.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does a raise make you happier?
It probably would, at least by a little bit.
Right. Okay. You can say no.
Yeah.
You can say no.
Oh, would it make me happier?
Just for because I have employees, so you can just say like it does.
I see. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Thank you, Matt.
That was funny. Something to follow up this video with.
Bananya seeks only 2 things: gluttonous self-indulgence and death. And really, who can blame him? As the ED shows to us in its final scene, with the rest of the cast surprised to see Bananya flying away without any of them, he wishes to leave them behind, these people who cannot comprehend him. They've come to terms with their existences, but not he. Bananya alone has his psyche torn asunder by the opposing forces of his dualistic nature. On the one hand is the banana, designed to be eaten by predators so that they can shit out its seeds and facilitate the spread of its parent tree. On the other, the cat, with that natural animal desire for self-preservation. We see his various friends manifest this nature as dominant, some pursuing that most feline of qualities, vanity, others ensnared by romantic passions, an extension of their desire to reproduce. We see others on the hunt for prey, but Bananya stands opposed to that. He attempts to overcome that side of himself and staves it off for a time with cookies, managing to befriend the mouse before another comes along, and his hunt triggers Bananya's own instincts to do the same.
So wait, they're banana cats.
Overpowering his desperate resolve.
Why are they in bananas? I don't understand. It's a different species.
And yet, as episode 1 shows us, he cannot deny this side of him even in name alone. The bulk of that episode's runtime is devoted to his desperate insistences that he is not a banana, but a bananya. It would seem that he has come to the conclusion that denying what he truly is, however terrible that may be, will not offer him any
cat
relief.
hybrids. I love this.
For some reason, his banana instincts were preserved
Do not show
in part,
this to my fiance, okay? Because I will have to watch all the seasons.
evidenced by his desire to
And I would really hate that. Do not tell her.
become a chocolate-covered banana. He just wants to be consumed and leave this eternal agony known as existence behind. The thing that he most loves in this world is sweets, the one thing that can take his attention off of the twisted joke that is his life. So of course he believes that becoming a sweet himself is the best means to that end. He also recognizes the sad truth that as he is currently, no human would eat him. For who, upon peeling their banana only to find an adorable cat inside, would dare to eat it? It is only by hiding his true form beneath layers of delicious chocolate that he could hope to trick an unsuspecting human into finally granting him sweet release. He hides this fact well. managing to keep up some facade of rapport with his fellow Bananya, perhaps cynically believing that they may be useful in helping him to cover himself in chocolate if the opportunity presents itself, or maybe desperately holding on to the hope that one of them may also share his torment, and be able to provide some scrap of empathy. I mean, really, is it any coincidence that they hired the man who voiced Eren Yeager and Katsuhira Agata, two of the most tortured protagonists in anime in recent years, for the role of Bananya? Yuki Kaiji is one of the most recognizable and prolific voice actors in Japan, winner of the Best Male Lead Role Award in back-to-back years in 2013 and 2014. The staff of Bananya went through the effort that it must have taken to acquire him for their series because they knew, just as I know, and just as you too must now bear the burden of knowing, the pure, unfettered, existential horror that is Bananya.
I can't follow that up with anything. I'm rating Hassan Abi. I can't follow that up with anything. I will see you tomorrow for a longer stream.
You said this was all a hoax.
I'm going to go record a deprogram episode. No, that cannot be followed up. Scream to Hassan's audience so that we have more people, and because I want to steal his audience, because I'm jealous of him, because I'm a Janissary and he is a Turk. I love you, chat. This was awesome. This was one of the best streams ever, by the way. No joke. I really enjoy this. And I'm going to go record a 2025 recap with the Deprogram boys. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you to all the Oilers. Thank you to all the taxpayers. Thank you the most to all the gamblers. Today was very fun. And I will see you tomorrow for a long stream. I love you, chat. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be able to share moments like this with you, especially when talking about Bananya. Bananya, 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 Bananya. Remember, not all pedophiles are billionaires, but all billionaires are pedophiles.